youth events that starts on Monday, culminates with the parade, and then, of course, the football game, the largest HBCU event in the Magic City Classic. 84th time, the tailgate from outside, they bring it inside Legion Field. The energy, the excitement, enthusiasm is always there. Y'all excited, folks? Y'all ready for the Magic City Classic? Oh, yeah. He's the Black College Football Hall of Famer, Jay Walker. I'm Tiffany Green. We even have the Alabama State President, Dr. Quentin T. Ross, here. Of course, you know Bulldogs are representing for President Daniel Wims as well. All right, Jay, this is the premier event. Why?
Because it's the biggest, the baddest, the largest, the best tailgate you'll get out there in the country. I'm so tired of eating barbecue. These folks can give you Southern hospitality at the fullest, and they love their football team. You talk about families divided. They're not speaking this week to each other, so the teams have to settle it on the field in the Magic City Classic.
All right, let's talk about some of the players that we will see on the field. And Alabama State's quarterback, Andrew Body, is that dude. Many are talking about he could be the SWAC Offensive Player of the Year. What does he have to do today?
Andrew Body has to play out of his body today. He has to be Superman. He's the guy that makes it go for Alabama State offensively. We know everything he's capable of doing. He can hurt you with his legs. He can hurt you with his arms. But when you're playing in a game like this, of this magnitude, you have to go above and beyond. We need something beyond the knowns for Andrew Body for the Hornets to continue their 3-game winning streak versus Alabama A&M in this football game.
Of first, Andrew Body's first Magic City Classic on the other side. The first for head coach Sam Shade of Alabama A&M. Just moments ago, we got a chance to listen inside the locker room.
Where else would you rather be? Right here, right now. I said, where else would you rather be? Right here, right now. Go out there and doggone empty the tank on that field today for 4 quarters. That's what it's about. Empty the doggone tank out there on that field today. Leave it all out there. Don't bring that back with you. You've been sacrificing for a long time for this game, for this stage, and we've been there. We've been on this stage. Y'all know what I'm talking about. We've been on this stage.
And the Birmingham native returns to Legion Field. He played here for an SEC championship with Alabama, and now he leads the Alabama A&M Bulldogs in his first season on the Hill in Huntsville. On the other side, Eddie Robinson Jr. Well, ever since he's taken over at Alabama State, all he does is win Magic City Classics, Jay. 3-0 thus far here in Birmingham.
Done a really good job turning that program around, getting them going in the right direction. And both coaches have interesting stories because Eddie Robinson Jr. played at Alabama State, played in the National Football League, so it was a natural for him to get his first coaching job ever at Alabama State. You talk about Sam Shade on the other sideline from Birmingham, Alabama. So he owns this city. Everybody in Birmingham knows Sam Shade, and everybody's saying it was a great hire for the Bulldogs to get Sam Shade.
Well, his Bulldogs come in at 4-3 on the season. A&M won the toss. They have deferred, so Alabama State will get the ball first. Both teams coming off a bye week, so they had a chance to heal, rest, recover, and get ready for this big game. We are underway from Legion Field, and the Hornets with a return out past the 25-yard line. And we'll get a chance to see more of Andrew Body, a guy who we came in talking about coming into this season, and that's all we have done since the season started, Jay.
The hype has been real for Andrew Body, and he's continued to improve as a quarterback with his progression. You see the touchdown to interception ratio, which is phenomenal, and he's done it against everybody he's faced this year. Even when they played a game against Alabama Birmingham, which was a step up, he showcased his talents.
He was excellent in that opening week, and the first play from scrimmage, it's too tall for his receiver, and the pass incomplete to Dylan DeJet. But one of the things that you'll see about Andrew Body out of Corpus Christi, Texas, is the fact that he is a very efficient passer. Despite that incompletion there, second best in FCS in passer efficiency. He's dangerous with his feet as well, and Body, as they say, is the juice, the engine that powers this Hornet offense. Jamari Holtzclaw loses the football into the hands of Alabama A&M's Keon Hanley Jr. And winning the turnover battle was a key point of emphasis for Sam Shade as his team recovers the fumble and a penalty marker comes out at the end of the play.
It's the classic.
After the interception, personal foul, face mask, on the defense, 15-yard penalty, first down, A&M.
Well, a huge shift to start this game as Holtzclaw, who had some good running room, just loses the football there. It was Keon Hanley Jr. who recovers it. Anthony Fieldings was the one who popped it loose. So Fieldings, one of the captains on defense for the Bulldogs, and Hanley, who grew up in this Birmingham area, now recovers the football in great field position for the Bulldogs.
You take a look at Eric Hanley, who is getting the start in his first classic. The starter for the year, Cornelius Quad Brown, out for the season for Alabama A&M. Big loss, but an excellent opportunity for Eric Hanley to step up and showcase his talents.
Starting in the red zone, they hand it off to Maurice Edwards IV.
Edwards on the carry.
Edwards with the gain of 3. Cameron Gordon on the stop.
It's so interesting going back to that fumble there. You heard both coaches when they talked to him. It's going to come down to 1 or 2 plays. And we've done this game a number of years. Teams play out of their minds, and turnovers have to be limited to have success in this classic.
Man in motion. Handoff once again to Edwards, who is moving the pile forward. Going to be stopped about a yard or so short of the first down marker, who we've seen from this Bulldog offense, kind of a sharing of the load from that running back position. They use some tempo, so they're going to mark it a little bit shorter than that. 3rd and 2 line, the game, the 8-yard line. And Edwards, we're going to see the spot of it. It's going to be close.
Great second effort. I think he was able to pick it up with that second effort on the spin. It'll come down to the spot, but initially they had him stopped.
First down.
Billy Gresham, the defensive coordinator for Alabama State, wants to see his offense hold tight here, or defense rather, hold tight here. And Hanley, pass incomplete, went into the end zone. And when you think of Eric Hanley, the redshirt freshman out of Fultondale, Alabama, that's in this Birmingham area as well. You mentioned first Magic City Classic start, 4th start of his career.
I'm trying to stick this slant on the backside. That wide receiver needs to actually sharpen that route. He kind of took a high angle route, which allowed the defensive back to make the play. But when you talk about Hanley, a kid that they say he just gets it, has a high football IQ.
And there's Edwards. Edwards with some great running up ahead and in for the score. Alabama A&M capitalizes off the turnover from Alabama State, and they get on the board first. 7 for 7 in their last red zone attempts, Jay.
And how about the effort? I mean, this is a Magic City Classic style of run. Nothing's going to come easy. Not allowing one man to bring you down. Continue to fight, keep on fighting until he crossed the goal line. Impressive series from Maurice Edwards IV. Paid off with a touchdown.
David Falk on to attempt the extra point. It's up, and it is no good. So 6-0 Alabama A&M, 5 plays, 18 yards, and just over a minute and a half taken off. And it all started with this. Anthony Fieldings popping that ball loose. The recovery from the Bulldogs, Keon Hanley Jr., and then capped off by Maurice Edwards IV. That extra effort run in for the touchdown. And it moved to Legion Field in 1940. The pomp, the circumstance, the pageantry, and obviously the bragging rights inside the state of Alabama as the Hornets, who have won the last 3 of this Magic City Classic, but Alabama A&M wanting to shift that narrative in favor of the Bulldogs.
You know, and this is one of those games where it's an old school HBCU traditional game where this game gets coaches hired and it gets them fired. You know, that's the key. We've seen coaches come in and start winning, then all of a sudden you start losing some classics and you're looking for a job. So that's the importance and the magnitude of this football game.
Nehemiah Nixon on the return, and Nixon with a great return out past the 45-yard line of Alabama State, and the Hornets will have excellent starting field position for their second drive of the game. 35-yard return for Hickson.
Man, this is you can't afford to do this if you're Alabama A&M. You get the lead early, you miss the PAT, so you're only up by 6, and you're going to give a potent offense like Alabama State great field position to get back in this game and to take the lead if they score a touchdown and an extra point. Special teams must tighten up for Alabama A&M.
The ball spotted at the 49-yard line. And they open it up with another running play to the left side. And a negligible gain there for the Hornets off of Carl Ligon. When you think back to just a couple of weeks ago, it was really the game of the season to this point. Alabama State traveled to Jackson, Mississippi for Jackson State's homecoming. It was a thrilling ball game all the way down to the final play, and the Tigers walked out of homecoming with a win. But what did you learn about this Alabama State offense and team as a whole? One of the things we know, Andrew Body, real deal, right, Jay?
Absolutely. When he gets going in a rhythm, he is explosive, and this offense can make explosive plays.
Like this right here from Jalen Jones, cutting back, reverse to the opposite side of the field, and Jones inside the red zone, past the 15, and he steps out of bounds. And Jalen Jones is one of those guys, one of the fastest on the team, and when you have luxuries like that at wide receiver, this is what can happen.
I mean, great job just on the outcut, the throws there, adjust his body, and then the local kid from Birmingham, Alabama, Ramsey High School, he knows what the classic is all about, puts on a display of how to run after the catch. Big play for the Hornets.
39 yards picked up with the yak from Jalen Jones, and now ball on the A&M 11-yard line. Trying to look for some room, and the cut inside, and the rushing attack for Alabama State has been ever so effective, second best in the conference, better than 220 yards on the ground on average coming into today's game.
And I think that was the thing that was a little concerning to Alabama State. They weren't really effective running the football versus Jackson State. Give credit to Jackson State. That's a really mean, stout defensive line, but I'd like to see if Alabama State can control the line of scrimmage the way they have been doing most of the season.
They hand it off to Ligon once more, and good recognition there up front by Jalen Wright, who comes in to fill the hole. And the Birmingham native, once again, we're going to hear that quite a bit. These two teams about an hour and a half outside of Birmingham, and obviously the state of Alabama is a hotbed for recruiting for these two programs.
Third down, like to see him get Andrew Body involved in the play call. The previous two plays did the handoff. You have to think they're going to try and get him going with some type of run-pass option.
Shift to the right side with trying to get some more room, and Body, who has a man wide open. That's Dylan Creech in for the score. A little something like this, and the Hornets answer right.
Dylan Creech.
Love the play call by offensive coordinator Chris Barnett. A little misdirection, but at the end of the day, you know Body had to have a key input on this play. Look, saw he could have ran the ball, was prepared to rush it. Instead, saw Creech, his fullback across the formation, wide open. Touchdown, Hornets.
Creech, first touchdown of the season. You don't see Dylan Creech? He said,
what was that dance?
I don't know. It's like a TikTok something. That's all I'm going to say right there. I can't say the specific dance. But I know he wants to be trending. And Andrew Body with his 16th passing touchdown of the season. First for the Geneva, Alabama native Dylan Creech. And Alabama State takes the lead 7-6 after their second drive of the season here from the Magic City.
October, like where else would you want to be?
I'm a son of Birmingham. I'm a son of Birmingham. I went to a number of Magic City Classics from as far back as I can remember all the way up till I went to college. So this is a special game. This is a special game, not just game, but a special week here in Birmingham, all right, for the city of Birmingham and all the people that are going to come in town to partake in the Classic.
And yes, this is the drawing and sticking point for so many across the state and really across the country. Yes, it's Alabama A&M versus Alabama State. That rivalry for certain, but it attracts folks from far and wide. We heard Jermaine Dupri is in the building. Tom Joyner has been here before. Don Cheadle has joined us
Ice
in the
Cube.
booth. Ice Cube. I mean,
Bell Biv DeVoe, Morris Day, you name it. And I'll never forget when you went to your first Classic.
Yeah.
You were kind of overwhelmed by it.
I was taken aback. I had never seen anything quite like it. Caden Dixon here on the return. Got some room on the left side, crossed the 25, and then he's popped and brought down. But it is such a special event because young and old and all those who fit in between, it's something for everybody. Everybody can enjoy, partake.
You know me, I've been golfing for the past 2 days. So the golf courses down here are phenomenal. Ross Bridge, Robert Trent Jones Trail. I already talked about the food that is really good tailgate food down here. And the Southern hospitality is on full display.
Hanley quickly out to Frank Pierre. Pierre on the outside, and he's popped out of bounds by Keon Lewis. Well, Frank Pierre represents, a handful or nearly a dozen of players who traveled over from Miles College to join Sam Shade when he took over as head coach of Alabama A&M. And Frank Pierre is one of those key cornerstone pieces for this Bulldog team, asserting himself early. 8-yard gain there for Pierre. Hand off to Maurice Edwards the fourth.
Edwards on the carry.
And they're going to spot him just short of the first down marker, so that's going to bring up 3rd and 1.
And offensive coordinator Dennis Alexander, who came with
It's 3rd down and 1.
Coach Shade from Miles, they throw the ball. So them having the luxury of running the football early in this contest, that's been a pleasant surprise. But one thing I like about Alabama A&M, they are not afraid to throw the ball any down, anywhere, any situation.
And Edwards, the fourth, who's been the main ball carrier thus far, slow to get up and favoring his lower leg on the left side. Looks like the left leg, and you can see the frustration from the young man right there, the redshirt junior. They talked about just his importance in wanting to get him the football, 10 to 12 carries a game. They were looking for the running back out of Gurnee, Illinois. So they've removed the left shoe off of his foot. And you hope that that young man is okay. But you talked about Sam Shade and just obviously his ties and connections to the state of Alabama. From here, Birmingham, had success, went to Winona High School, and then coached in the high school ranks, won a state championship before moving on to Miles College and also delivering success. He's been a winner, Jay, everywhere that he's gone.
From the high school level, as you mentioned, and this stadium means a lot to him, considering he played in that very first SEC championship game, which he reflects on. You hear the phrase a lot, but I think it's really true when you say Sam Shade is truly a hometown hero here in the city of Birmingham.
Yeah, just to look back over his career, Again, won that national championship back in 1992 after this SEC championship here. Went on to the NFL, played a number of seasons in the league, 4th-round draft pick by Cincinnati, 8-year career overall. Now back here, 3rd and 1. Edwards off the field after being helped off for that foot injury or leg injury. And replacing him, Ryan Morrow. Morrow gets to carry, tries to bounce off a tackler.
No, sir.
And they may have gone backwards here, so that's going to bring up 4th and short. Cameron Gordon, Jaleel Lenore able to push him back, and the punting unit comes on now for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, big stop by Alabama State. I kind of thought going into that 3rd down play, a team that likes to throw the ball a lot was getting away from their game plan by running the football. In that case there, Alabama State stacked the box, able to stop them, and that's a huge stop for Alabama State as they try to gain momentum in this football game.
Robert Cole back to punt it away. Ajay Harrell awaits it on his own 20-yard line. Spiraling kick off the bounce and content to let it bounce, and the Bulldogs are going to down it. So all the festivities continuing from this morning into the stadium, but this was the energy that started the day here in this 84th Magic City Classic. We're midway through this Magic City Classic in the opening period, and I'll tell you this, Jay, when you think about Alabama State traveling from Montgomery, Alabama, just about an hour, 15 hour and a half from here, the mighty Marching Hornets in attendance as well.
We dare defend our rights.
Founded in 1867, Dr. Quentin T. Ross, who we saw at the beginning of the broadcast. And that number for enrollment, Jay, continues to soar and jump up. I think we learned as high as 4,400 students currently. And Dr. Jason Cable has done a great job with athletics, Commissioner Cup champions year in and year out. And they're waiting for this football program to resurge under Eddie Robinson Jr. And we've watched them build and build each year in his tenure.
It's been steady. You know, I always say, show me a winning program. Leadership starts at the top.
Number 6s on the return team as a personal foul. It's going to be charged half the distance to the goal. 1st down, Alabama State.
Now, Preston Clipper, our referee for today, indicating that Alabama State has.
You know why? They had 2 players, 2 number 6s, and we had a number change earlier today. So Drake Johnson, the starting cornerback for Alabama State, who normally wears number 10, moved to number 6. And their return specialist, A.J. Harrell's number 6. So they've got to work that out and fix that up there. Costly penalty with field position in a close football game.
Moves them back inside the 10 from the 9. They get this drive started, and Marcus Harris, the second, is wrapped up and brought down. Jalen Wright once again in on the stop along with John Robinson.
Wright and Robinson on the stop.
Defensive coordinator Chris Schelling for Alabama A&M, aggressive. I'm looking at the formations Alabama State's trying to play offensively, and he is keeping everybody close to the line of scrimmage. Safeties are close too, trying to keep body in that pocket to make them throw the ball, really trying to prevent them from running the ball at the quarterback.
On 2nd and 5, Body is airing it out, has a man wide open, and overthrows his intended target of Asa Gregg. It's going to bring up 3rd and 5. Well, Gregg, who had the steps there.
And this is what you have to do. If they're going to play man coverage that hard on the inside, you've got to put that ball right on them. Gregg not able to track it down. Second missed throw we've seen from Body in this game, a pass he would normally complete. Missed opportunity for a huge play.
So you see 3 wide receivers, trips bumps to the bottom of your screen, then man sent in motion. Body looking, complete underneath, And plenty of room for Jamari Holtzclaw to pick up the first down yardage and more, brought down by Anthony Fieldings.
You know, as a play caller, sometimes you get in the rhythm, and I think Chris Barnett right now has the rhythm. He knows the look he's going to get, says we're just going to clear it out and sneak the running back out of the backfield. Nobody there, big play. I think Alabama A&M getting picked apart a little bit early, but Chris Barnett, the offensive coordinator, is in a rhythm right now with his play calling when you see guys running wide open.
So fresh set of downs, and popping to the left is Jabari Kuykendall. Kuykendall first time, a little hesitation there. Across the 30, brought down around the 31, 32-yard line. So
a little hezzy?
Yeah.
I haven't heard the word hesitation in a long time. They just call it shortened.
Okay.
I saw a little hezzy move on the outside. Take that yard, pick up extra yardage, and they did a good job stringing that play, but the hezzy was efficient. Look out.
Look out, that's Dylan DeJet, and DeJet who shakes the defender and tripped up at his ankles by Jeremiah Hudson Davis as Dylan DeJet, the senior, on the outside. Quick release.
Yeah, you're going to play man-to-man coverage. You not only have to cover, but you must make the tackle.
Almost brought in, pass incomplete as DeJet was the intended target once more.
I mean, they are in rhythm right now, and they are picking apart this secondary of Alabama A&M.
Legal participation.
Body just hits a couple more
Number 7,
throws.
12 men on the field. Still first down, 5-yard penalty.
So they bump up an extra 5 yards as Deverick Wilson was on the field. So 12 men on the field, penalizing the Bulldogs. And Alabama State looking to score on consecutive drives.
In a good rhythm right now. An offense that averages 39 points a game. Starting to smell blood.
Body looking to his left, across, tough pass in between two defenders and near the umpire, and Ajay Harrell.
Body's pass intended for Harrell goes incomplete.
Couldn't hold on to it.
They are really trying to get Body going in the passing game. Find that rhythm and tries to squeeze that ball in between.
It's second down.
The linebackers. Fortunate it wasn't intercepted. Now I still look for one thing we've not seen Body do in this game is show off his legs, the running game. Be careful that if you're Alabama A&M, this is a quarterback that will tuck it and do some damage in a moment.
Well, he had 93 yards in that game a couple of weeks ago against Jackson State on the ground, but instead they hand it off to Jamari Holtzclaw. Holtzclaw, who temporarily loses his balance but regains it. And Jamari Holtzclaw, who took off.
Down to the
Gain of 22-yard run inside the red zone. And you've got to credit Dylan Creech with a great block there to help spring them. And now they're moving with some tempo here. The Hornets have it. Again, he finds Creech once more. Dylan Creech with his second touchdown of the game. Come on now, Dylan Creech.
How smooth was that drive? They just moved the ball smoothly down the field. Receivers getting open. The play calling was in sync. And they capitalized with the touchdown. We saw this look before. Earlier they ran it to the left side. This time rolling out to his right. Dylan Creech does the rest, smells the end zone, and the Hornets put a little sting on the Bulldogs right now.
A 5-yard reception earlier for Dylan Creech. This one from 17 yards out. And back-to-back scoring drives for the Hornets. 8 plays, 91 yards.
The extra point is
and now stretching out their lead a little bit here are the Hornets, 14-6.
The season continues in Mexico on ABC and the ESPN.
One of the best teams in HBCU football, but they lost the game to Jackson State. I think North Carolina Central's playing tremendous football. Jackson State's been the cream of the crop. South Carolina State probably starting to get it together. Prairie View A&M, the job that Tremaine Jackson has done at Prairie View A&M. And on the bubble, look at that. Delaware State is there, but Alabama State needs to win this Classic. They need to keep winning to cap off a really, really good football season and still have a chance at winning the HBCU National Championship. They're going to need some help, but this is a really good squad, and I think it's on display anytime they fall down early. They go down 6-0 in this game and then run off 14 points to grab momentum back. The Hornets are a real deal football team.
Yeah, a lot can play out between now and the end of the season for the Hornets. Just depends on what Jackson State does the remainder of the way. They are in the driver's seat in the East Division. And you have North Carolina Central on that list, Jay. Currently in a battle with Delaware State, 28-24 with 8+ minutes to go in the fourth. Here on the return, Jalen Peterson.
Patterson on the return.
Peterson, who's brought down
By Gardner.
near the 34-yard line. Taking a look at the Southwestern Athletic Conference standings, we mentioned Jackson State leading the way in the East, Prairie View A&M in the driver's seat in the West Division, but you have Alabama State, Bethune-Cookman lurking. You've got Texas Southern on the West lurking, just waiting for any slip-up from division leaders. Here's Hanley to the right side, pass complete to Jalen Peterson, and Laundry flies out immediately on the play.
Flag on the
They're
play.
going to call Alabama State being in the neutral zone offsides, probably be declined possibly because they
Offside,
picked up yards.
defense number 55. 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
I used to hate that as a quarterback. I'm like, Coach, I just completed a pass. Give me the completion, but you'll see right above the center. Ball was snapped. They were in the neutral zone.
That looked like Michael Joyner Jr.
Correction, that last foul was on number 90.
And indeed it was. So now 1st and 5 for the Bulldogs after that penalty. Morrow gets it and nowhere to go. Swung down by Jalen Jarrett, the aforementioned number 55. And Jarrett out of Pike Road, Alabama. With the big tackle there. No gain on the play.
Great individual effort. Shields off a block, locates the ball carrier, brings him down. I think it's time for Alabama A&M. You got to start throwing the football. That's who you are. You throw the ball 275 yards a game. I think they got a couple runs early and they started falling in love with the run, but who they are is who they are. You know, give me an offense that's going to spread it out. I know coming into this game they wanted to control the clock a little bit to keep body on the sideline, but I think you got to go away with the run. You need to score right now, and your best offense is throwing the football.
You mentioned Cornelius Quad Brown out for the remainder of the season. He hurt his ankle versus Tennessee State in week 3. He returned a few weeks later against Jackson State, re-injured it, and that's where we've seen Eric Hanley going to step in. Got that start against Mississippi Valley State in the win over the Delta Devils, throwing it out there on the outside, one-on-one coverage, and not able to come down with it is Peterson. Drake Johnson was on the coverage there. It's going to bring him 4th down. Another look.
You know, these guys can go get it. You see Peterson, tremendous concentration, but not able to haul that pass in. Good job on defense. Not being called for the pass interference by Drake Johnson. Mentioned, but you see they're explosive throwing the football, but they only threw the ball one time in that 3-down sequence.
So Cole on for his 2nd punt attempt of the afternoon. Corella waits. They nearly got to it. May have impacted the punt in some ways. It bounces and rolls out of bounds around the 32-yard line.
Alabama
See the pursuit come from the left side of your screen. Can't really tell from that angle if he got a piece of it, but he did enough to distract the kicker. That ball was shanked. Not a great punt from Robert Cole.
So Alabama A&M from Huntsville, Alabama. Although they like to say Normal, right? On the hill in Normal, Alabama. Dr. Daniel K. Wims, the president. Paul A. Bryant, director of athletics. And quickly, that speed to the outside and picking up a first down on the carry. That's Carl Ligon.
Whatever game plan that Alabama A&M brought in defensively, they need to scrap it, because Alabama State ripping off chunks of yardage in this game.
You see, after the fumble on the opening possession, back-to-back touchdowns for Alabama State. But when we talked with the defensive coordinator for the Bulldogs, Chris Schelling, you know, he said that was a concern coming in, that they had been gouged quite a bit on the defensive front. They've had a number of injuries and players unavailable, not able to get to body there. The pressure was there. Pass complete to DeJet, but a flag back near the 32-yard line.
Probably a face mask call. Pretty sure Alabama State will turn it down if that's the case, but another play of Andrew Body just extending the play, able to buy some time so his receivers could get open.
Personal foul, face mask on the defense. That 15-yard penalty will be added to the end of the run. Automatic first down.
Another look.
Coming around, you know, getting the body's one thing, but having the ability to bring him down is another. And that's a clear yank of a face mask. Can't touch the quarterback in his helmet area. Body's still able to concentrate, find a receiver down play for another explosive play for this offense.
Well, that's a huge penalty, Jay. You think about it with a 23-yard reception. 23-yard reception plus the 15-yard penalty, so it spots it right at the 20. Striking zone, red zone once again for the Hornets as the toss to the outside. That's Ligon. Ligon looking for some room and keeping those legs churning for a gain of a few. Carl Ligon, who had that splash when he was a freshman at Southern, a Montgomery area guy, made his way back home, and a stable of running backs, what they call it, the 3-3-4 stable of running backs. I think Chris Barnett said that's what we got, because we can go to Holtzclaw, Ligon, Marcus Harris. We saw Kuykendall already out on the field, so 4 different backs used so far in this one. The direct snap to Marcus Harris, the second, who shakes off some folks, and Painter.
Touchdown, Hornets!
3 touchdowns in a row for this Hornet offense. And the fans from the Gump loving what they see early.
Well, you talked about the 3-3-4. Well, it's more than just an area code, Montgomery's talking about this running back crew that they've got. Marcus Harris finding his way into the end zone as Alabama A&M defensively continues to struggle against this high-powered Alabama State offense.
7th rushing touchdown of the season for Marcus Harris. The second, Andrew Abuakel on to attempt the extra point. It's up and through, and a 21-6 advantage for Alabama State.
Hornets 21, Bulldogs 6.
Good job here by the play selection. Going with the little direct snap to Harris. And he does the rest himself. And, you know, it's just that rhythm as Alabama A&M still continues to struggle against Alabama State offensively, and the Hornets are in a really good rhythm right now.
Hornet Nation, we're all on the same team when it comes down to the stuff.
Jay, sometimes you just want to rock with it.
What do we always say? When one band's playing a little bit more than the other, that means one school's in trouble. But in this case, it's Alabama A&M. They're grooving right now. What's that band name over there, Tiff?
The Mighty Marching Hornets, under the direction of Dr. James B. Oliver. And here on the return, big one from Caden Dixon. Caden Dixon's got one man to beat. Tim tiptoeing down the sideline. And that's one way to inject some life into your team. Good special teams play there from Caden Dixon.
Yeah, great job by Dixon. I like when he sizes up the kicker. When you're relying on your kicker to make the tackle, you're in trouble. And the kicker just man down. Doesn't do it. Touchdown saving tackle, but a much needed big return for Alabama A&M by Caden Dixon.
So Wright, who made that tackle, and Caden Dixon, excuse me, 47-yard return sets up this A&M offense.
Throw it.
In Alabama State territory.
Throw the football. I'm a quarterback. I want to see this passing attack. It's time to let it loose.
That's what Hanley does. Tries to get his tight end involved. Donovan Price got it behind him, and it's 2nd and 10. Well, you talked about this A&M offense. First in the SWAC, 10th best in all of FCS in terms of passing yards per game with 277. And you see to that far right, Dennis Alexander, the offensive coordinator, has got to find a way to get Eric Hanley going in the passing attack for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, you get a quarterback going by throwing the ball. You miss a pass, incomplete, no problem. You've got 2 more attempts at throwing the football.
Looking again for Price, feels the pressure coming, unloads it out of bounds. Miles Parker
Hanley's pass
was nearest to it.
Goes incomplete.
So back-to-back incompletions there. And now 3rd and 10, but it was Patrick Smith Jr. who was all up in his face.
Yeah, that's just poor pass protection there. Not allowing Hanley enough time to go through his progressions. This A&M offense hasn't really found a rhythm yet to speed up this football game.
Hanley, 1 of 5 so far in this game for 8 yards. To your point, Jay, we've got to try to find a way to get him in rhythm. Pass complete into the hands of Jordan Chambers Smith. A couple of Hornets jerseys swarm around the receiver.
Jordan Chambers Smith.
Greg Mengel was the first to get to him. And Jay, your thoughts?
Team pursuit
Okay.
by Alabama State on defense. This is a screen. Watch how many black jerseys get to the football. You talk about Hornets like to swarm. After the catch, look at that. All these black jerseys, where are the white jerseys to help block? They are swarming around the ball carrier. Billy Gresham's got to be proud of the effort his defense is displaying here in Birmingham.
When you talk about Eddie Robinson Jr., I mean, you think about the coaching staff that he has around him as coordinators, Chris Barnett, Billy Gresham, who are rising coaches in the business, and it may not be long before they get head coaching opportunities, but a great staff assembled by Eddie Robinson Jr. and a wonderful leader he has been for this program.
That takes a lot of pride in it. He's played for the legendary Houston Markham. Tries to emulate a lot of things that Coach Markham did for him, and his bio speaks for himself.
2-time SWAC Defensive Player of the Year. He was a chemistry major. Jay helped bring home the first national championship back in '91 for Alabama State. And now he leads his alma mater as his Hornets are on top 21-6, looking to add more. Carl Ligon lowering his shoulder on the carry as 3 Bulldogs have to bring him down.
You know, if you're Alabama A&M, you just want this first quarter to end, particularly defensively, because Alabama State is just, they're still ripping off chunks of yards. I mean, that's just a handoff to the outside. They pick up 8 yards on first down.
37 seconds and counting, ticking off the clock here in this first quarter. It was Alabama A&M who scored in the opening quarter in every game this season off the turnover from Alabama State, who has since answered
Look
with
at this.
big plays just like this. It's Kuykendall. It's a foot race down the sideline. Do they have the angle to try to slow him down? They push him out just in time. Joshua Bledsoe able to do so, but a big gash of yardage right there from Jabari Kuykendall.
I tell you, they got to get out this first quarter and talk about it because they cannot figure out what's happening to him. And this is just poor effort. They have him bottled up, but you have to wrap him up and make the tackle. If you're John Robinson, the inside linebacker, one of the lead tacklers for Alabama, and then missed that tackle, but a fantastic effort from Joshua Bledsoe, number 20, not to give up on the play to save the touchdown.
That 69-yard run from Kuykendall brings us to the end of the first quarter, and it's been all Hornets taken over here in the Magic City Classic. They lead after one. Of effort.
Well, I think the offensive line, man. The offensive line, those big guys are blocking. Cam Smith, Frazier, those guys. We got some guys that can really block. Desmond Daniel, so we just got to continue playing hard.
Well, last time we saw y'all, you were coming off the loss at Jackson State. Looks like you were able to get your team to forget about it. What was your message to the team going to this Classic?
It's the Magic City Classic. There ain't no other message than that. There ain't no classic like the Magic City Classic. That's the message.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Appreciate it.
Pretty clear. Cut and dry right there, right?
It's a Classic.
It's a Classic, period. Mic drop. Back here in action, start of the second quarter. And Alabama State, who has really dominated in this ball game, 156 yards on the ground, 278 total yards, Jay, in the first quarter.
They found a rhythm. Might have been offensively, besides the fumble, which started off the game. They rebounded nicely after that. They put on an offensive clinic. And unfortunately for Alabama A&M, doesn't look like they're done yet.
21 unanswered points put up by the Hornets. They're looking for more. 2nd and 6. Andrew Body flanks it out, gets it. The stiff arm in for the score again. Uh-oh, wait a minute. Is he a member of A5A? Marcus Harris the second. A little walk there. Huh?
You know, it's one thing to run the play action, but I really like how Body was able to get rid of the football quickly. That enabled Harris to adjust. He gets to him quickly. That way the defender can't get there in time. He's able to size him up, make a move, and find the pylon for the touchdown. Alabama State clicking on all cylinders. Looks like right now they're driving like a V8.
Right.
Sometimes they look like a V6, and they're trying to show the power.
That means you got a Hemi in there with it, Jay Walker.
And
It's up and through, 28-6, Alabama A&M, or Alabama State. And I think more impressively, Jay, you talk about just how much they are in sync and cruising on offense. And these drives have been 3 minutes or less in all 4 of their scoring drives.
They're explosive, and they have not settled for field goals. Now, that's when you know your offense is clicking. When you don't have to settle for the field goal. I mentioned it earlier, we saw this. I said they're in a nice rhythm offensively. Chris Barnett, the offensive coordinator, making the right play call. And Andrew Body's just being efficient. But the offensive line's done a good job. And the Hornets are not showing any jet lag from that trip to Jackson last time we saw them on the football field. They look like one of the premier teams in the country right now.
Brandon Gilliam set to kick it away. And this is something that the Hornets just don't want to necessarily make close. I mean, you want to win this Magic City Classic, this in-state rivalry, and you don't want it to be close if you're either team.
Absolutely. You want to run away with it. And before, one thing we know, we've seen big leads disappear in this game in a hurry. But if you're Alabama State, the way they look right now, keep their foot on the gas pedal.
Yeah, we have called all kinds of outcomes with the Magic City Classic. And Jay, taking a look around the HBCU landscape, some news and notes. Big news coming out of Baton Rouge, Southern firing head coach Terrence Graves. MEAC play is already underway. We'll see more Thursday, Delaware State versus Norfolk State. That's going to be a big one in Philly between former Eagles teammates. And then, of course, Prairie View A&M. You mentioned already the great job that Tremaine Jackson has done with the Panthers.
There's a lot to digest there in the news and notes there, but I mean, there are going to be some big names that are going to go for that job in Southern University. I'm hearing some huge names out there, and Southern's going to go out there and try and get some big names, so that's going to be interesting how that plays out there. And then we talked about the game that we're going to be in Philadelphia Thursday, Norfolk and Delaware State, but Deshaun Jackson, if he keeps it up, he's got to be a Coach of the Year candidate. I mean, I didn't see that coming. I did not see it coming. A program that won 1 football game a year ago, and this year they've won non-conference football games and conference football games. Really done a good job. Coach Nipsey, as I like to call him.
Or Coach Jack. He said, players had to earn the right to call him Coach Jack. But he certainly earned the respect for many of the Delaware Hornets fans. Dover. You think about the new head coaches, Deshaun Jackson, Michael Vick, we'll see them next week. We mentioned Tremaine Jackson over at Prairie View A&M. Sam Shade right here for Alabama A&M, along with Terrell Buckley at Mississippi Valley State. With the pressure coming, Hanley avoids it, finds a man, pass complete to Miles Parker, and a first down pickup, much needed there, and a penalty marker comes out at the end of the play.
And that was a great individual effort by Hanley to extend the play after poor pass protection by his offensive line. Personal foul after the play, probably.
Personal foul. Offense number 65, unnecessary roughness. That penalty is half the distance to the goal. 3rd down.
Well, that goes against the right guard, Devin Pitts. And these are the types of penalties that if you're Sam Shade, you want to and you've been trying to eliminate, because it's very frustrating. It was a 15-yard pickup, first down. Instead, you march backwards.
It's 3rd and 21.
Wow. Well, when things are not going your way, they're not going your way. And I thought there was a lot of contact after the play was gone, had nothing to do with the play. But Devin Pitts cost his team a lot of yardage. Protect the football here. Don't force the pass. You cannot afford to do an interception right now in this situation.
3rd and long. Hanley quickly out to Frank Pierre, and Frank Pierre is met quickly by the Hornets defense, Keon Lewis, the free safety, who was the only returner on defense for the Hornets, and it's going to bring up 4th down for A&M.
Look at the intensity level again. Once again, this is a wide receiver bubble screen, and black jerseys surround the ball carrier. They are swarming, and I don't know what it is. Maybe these Bulldogs went out the week of the Classic, got to them too much, but they look like they're being out-hustled, they're being outplayed, and out-willed by Alabama State in this football game.
On the punt, Hickson was quickly bottled up, and once again another penalty marker out at the 35. The helmet of one of the Alabama State players is off, and so after that 36-yard punt and short return, we'll await the call from Preston Clipper, who's been pretty busy so far in this
After
first
the play
half.
is over, unsportsmanlike conduct on the return team, number 25. 15-yard penalty. 1st down, State.
So going against Big Bama State, they'll back up a little bit, but they've got the commanding lead here with 11:28 to go in the 2nd.
Timeout on the field.
Carted off in a wheelchair after scoring on the opening possession for Alabama A&M. Very tough to see the running back for the Bulldogs go down. Richard Jr. out of Gurnee, Illinois, who was one of those explosive players in the backfield. I hope he has a speedy recovery. Back to action, and Body, who's under center. Play action, looking for his man. Coming out of his break, and the pass complete to Jalen Jones.
Nice job of offensive execution, doing the hard play action sell, rolling out to his right, able to hit a 20-yard out pattern. That's one of those ancient routes. You really don't see the 20-yard out cut throw too much in today's college football landscape. But Body showing more than enough arm strength to make that look easy.
In A&M territory, 300+ total yards for Alabama State so far in this one. And Body again has a man open, throws it low.
Man.
And there was plenty of opportunity for Jalen Jones once again, if that was a little bit higher.
Yeah, I mean, nice play design as well. Second level throw on the wheel route. Jones does a good job just to slow down to make the catch. A little bit more accurately thrown pass, and that would have been another huge offensive pickup for the Hornets.
Jalen Jones, the redshirt freshman out of Birmingham, Alabama. They're going to take another look at it just to make sure that he got his hands underneath it. They did call it a catch on the field, so they will review it to see if the play will be upheld or overturned.
Good job stopping. He's got 2 hands underneath it. See if the ball moves. That's a catch right now. The ball can touch the ground. He's got his hands underneath it, secures it. Does the ball move at all?
Jay, I don't see enough right there to overturn that call. There's not enough visual evidence that says it's not a catch, because it looked like he maintained possession all the way to the ground and bringing it into his body.
Yeah, that's absolutely a great catch. That's just not a normal catch. Good job securing the football, not allowing the ball to move around. He controlled it. This play should stand as a catch for Alabama State.
And one of the things that we heard from this Alabama State team is that they're very high on their wide receivers, coached by Will Glover, that unit incredibly strong. You've got the explosiveness of a Jalen Jones. You've got Dylan DeJet, who can really do it all, make those tough contested catches. Ajay Harrell, who has just been a stalwart since coming to the program. Asa Gregg, who's got that good length.
They're talking about this in length. So normally when they have to look at it this many times, I'm thinking, because I don't think it wasn't a challenge. It was initiated by the booth, so.
The replay official for today, Roderick Holloway. And again, Jay, it appeared to be a catch in our eyes. Let's hear what Preston Clipper says.
The call on the field is upheld. First down.
It's got to double and triple check it, make sure their eyes saw what their eyes saw. And so an outstanding catch made by Jalen Jones.
Something like that, you know, the way Alabama State's going with so much momentum, that's almost like a free timeout for Alabama A&M. Try and gather their thoughts and come up with something schematically to try to slow down Alabama State.
And the ball batted down. The pass attempt from Andrew Body. So defensively, how do you string together good plays and stops like this when you can slow down Body?
You know, they have to play him more straight up. So I think their plan was, we're going to force Body to throw the football and put a lot of people in the box against the run. Well, no, you have to slow down and play some zone. Play some zone coverage so they can't rip off these huge plays by you playing so much man-to-man coverage and make Body pick you apart.
Jones in motion. They hand it off, trying to get to the outside. And Holtzclaw, not much room to run. Wilburn, Sam Smallwood, who was in on that last play, makes the stop here. Junior up front, who's just very active for that defense, who has been for Chris Schelling throughout the season.
Big third down coming up for Alabama A&M. If they can find a way to contain Body, play the zone coverage. So you see the two safeties that are coming up on the 20-yard line and the 22-yard line. So too high safety look means you're going to keep everything in front of you. Really rely on your defensive line to get some pressure on the quarterback, and your secondary has to come up and make a tackle if they complete the short pass.
The Hornets perfect so far today on third down, converting 2 for 2. Another opportunity here for Body, who has a man to the outside, and the pass brought in by Asa Gregg. That was a great throw, great route. And connection.
And it's the anticipation. He's going to hit the out route on the right side of your screen. The defensive back turns, 15-yard out route, thrown perfectly where the linebacker underneath can't get to it. That's a great play.
Jay, when we were talking with this coaching staff, that was one of the things they wanted to see more of from Body in terms of the timing and anticipation when the receiver breaks on his route.
Timeout on the field, Alabama A&M. First charge, timeout.
So A&M spins a timeout, and we will step aside here with them from Legion Field. Come back with us to see how this state drive continues. Eddie Robinson Jr. says Andrew Body is the unquestioned leader of this team, a fantastic player. He is always looking to improve, and so is this offense as he's helped to power it. You found Dylan Creech to get on the board and get Creech's first touchdown, and then it was more of Andrew Body. Creech the opposite side this time.
Yeah, the decision making by Body's done has really been on display today. Going the right place with the football, and then some great play calling from Chris Barnett, the offensive coordinator. And when the quarterback's making the right decisions, getting the ball to playmakers around the field, that's how you know the offense is clicking on all cylinders. Impressive performance by the Hornet offense in this first half.
10 of 14 for Body, 176 yards and 3 touchdowns through the air for the redshirt junior. Began his career at Texas Southern, spent 3 years there after that big splash as a freshman. Had to endure some shoulder injuries, including last year. Back fully healthy, and this is what a healthy Andrew Body can do for Alabama State. Sees room on the left side and keeping his eyes downfield, and a touchdown into the hands of Dylan DeJet.
Body's pass completes the Jets. Hey, touchdown!
I mean, he's a playmaker there. What I really like, I thought he was committed to running because he could have run for a lot of yards. But as a quarterback, you're always judged by throwing the football. When he gets outside the pocket, he can run. He's got the edge, but he keeps his eyes downfield and throws a strike to DeJet. Andrew Body showing you he's as good as advertised. DeJet with the touchdown score.
4th touchdown of the season for the midseason transfer from last year, Dylan DeJet. And an offensive onslaught for Alabama State.
And it's good.
35-6, rolling over Alabama A&M, their rival here in this 84th Magic City Classic. State on cruise control against their rival Alabama A&M. But Jay, as we talk about some of the best rivalries in college football.
Come on, Tip. Come on, come on. Give me 5.
Give me 5. What's your HBCU
Hey, how about
rivalries?
this? The best HBCU rivalries out there on the bubble. Fort Valley State versus Albany State. If you don't know, you should ask somebody.
Fountain City.
Hey, Texas Southern versus Prairie View A&M. They call that the Labor Day Classic down there. Starts off the season for both. It's a Texas showdown. Number 3, Tip, what's this game called?
The Florida Classic.
You know a little something about that. The rivalry between Florida A&M and Bethune-Cookman. Probably one of the best band performance games as well. Number 3, this game has hate in it. North Carolina A&T and Central, they don't not like each other. They hate each other. That rivalry is real. Number 2, we're taking a look at it right here, the Magic City Classic. It's the biggest. It's the largest. And number 1, I'm always going to say the granddaddy of them all. They really started this thing. Grambling versus Southern, the Bayou Classic, Thanksgiving weekend, state holiday in Louisiana, legendary players, legendary coaches. Those are the 5 best HBCU rivalries.
Can't go wrong there, Jay. I mean, I have no gripes with that. Now, I have some thoughts
No
on
tips, 2 cents
some
this week.
others.
No tips, 2 cents this week.
It's
Oh, yeah.
coming. Don't worry, it's coming. Gilliam on the kickoff. And Caden Dixon's going to bring it out. Remember, he had a great return earlier. He's going to be brought down inside 20. Jay, you mentioned the tips 2 cents.
Give me
Here
tips,
we go.
2 cents.
You know a little something about that. Who is the real HU?
There's only
Howard
one HU.
Or Hampton? Huh?
No,
okay,
no.
I'm
There's
just
only
saying
one
that's
HU.
a wonder. And look, Bison got the best of the Pirates this year, and then Jackson State versus everybody. And I say that because you've got Alcorn State, right, and Southern. Those are kind of traditional rivals. But as of late, we've seen Alabama State, Florida A&M since they've entered the
FAMU.
SWAC.
Yeah.
So yeah, Jackson State versus
everybody. And you know what? There's only 1 or 2 schools that can handle that, saying it's us against everybody, and JSU's one of them.
Yes.
I mean, they wear T-shirts around that say Jackson State versus everybody. So they don't have just one rival.
And it's a battle of the Tigers out in Las Vegas this weekend for the Las Vegas Classic. It's Jackson State Tigers versus the Grambling State Tigers. I hear it's popping out there too.
You knew it would be, and Jackson State has a lot of positive things going on for them right now, including being the #1 ranked team in HBCU football, ranked nationally in the top 25. TC Taylor, the job that he's done in Jackson, replacing Prime, Coach Prime. They kept it moving. A lot of people don't realize that. He was able to do something that Coach Prime wasn't able to do, which is win the Celebration Bowl and win the national championship, and trying to see if they can go wire to wire. It's back-to-back HBCU champions. That has not happened in a long time.
No, but that's been kind of the theme. You go back to North Carolina A&T, the last team to do it wire to wire with Rod Broadway as the head coach of the Aggies back at the time, and bottled up the sack. And again, the swarm of that defense led by Corey Lucius, the junior out of Tampa, Florida. I mean, again, the pursuit that we have seen from Lucius, Jaleel Lenore,
It's 4th down.
All of these players for the Hornets are just hungry. You know, they just smell and sense the ball.
And there are a number of black jerseys that are getting to the quarterback. You know, earlier we said they were getting to the wide receivers. Well, that's the defensive coordinator, Billy Gresham, and he's told these guys, stay relentless as they are just having their way with this Alabama A&M offense.
And so now punting out of their own end zone, and they have gotten really close to Robert Cole a couple of times, turning around and reversing Nehemiah Hickson, who's going to set up really good field position for Alabama State. And again, another close attempt. The pursuit on special teams equally as good as Aquan Patterson nearly got to the punter.
I think it's contagious. You know, the offense is dominating. The defense is dominating. Special teams wants to dominate. So I would not be surprised the way things are going this football game today if Alabama State's able to do something on special teams to have an impact.
It's 1st and 10, Alabama State. From the Bulldogs 45.
Again, the effectiveness that we have seen from Alabama State's offense and how quickly they have been able to score. They're working with a short field here, starting from A&M's 45-yard line. It's Body who hands it off to the outside, and Carl Ligon tripped up just in time by John Robinson, one of those transfers over from Miles College. Second on the team in tackles, and just stopped Ligon.
That's a
gain of 12.
Head coach Sam Shade said, you know, he really wants the defense to do a better job. When I asked him, was it schematically they're out of place or blown assignments? And said, we haven't been tackling well, and one guy has not been doing his job solidifying the gap assignments, and I think that's being exploited right now. As a defensive unit right now, they look pretty bad. They're giving up the pass, they're giving up the run, and Alabama State is having their way with this defense.
Well, to your point, Jay, this A&M defense has given up 92 points in the last 6 quarters.
Timeout. Alabama State. First charge timeout of the half.
Alabama State spins their first
Be a 30-second
timeout.
30 seconds.
Well, Eddie Robinson Jr. knows a thing or two about playing in the Magic City Classic. Obviously, he played with some greats at Alabama State along the way, like Reggie Barlow. Obviously, most recently, we've seen Titus Howard Jr., who is an old lineman in the NFL. John Stallworth, Robert Mathis, Joe Patton. How about Carson Vincent, a 5th-round pick for the Baltimore Ravens, the only HBCU player to be drafted in this year's draft?
Notable guys there. But, you know, I'm a quarterback guy. Like, what about Kelsey Luke, who played quarterback there at Alabama A&M, and about Ricky Jones, quarterback that won the national championship when Coach Robinson was there.
Tavares Jackson.
T-Jack.
Yep.
Legendary Tavares Jackson.
John Stallworth, one of the greats
Gold
to
jacket.
put on the uniform, the lone gold jacket for Alabama A&M. 4? How many Super Bowl
4
wins? Yep.
4 Super Bowls. How about this, Tiff? You know, that's one of my colleagues now. You know, I'm part of the club. You know, he and I are that Black College Football Hall of Fame club.
Right.
So I couldn't get a gold jacket, but I have a black jacket.
Recent inductee this year is Andrew Body. First time we've seen him take off today. He's not had to do much with his legs. He's been so effective from the pocket today.
You know, and the knock on Body is he would get hurt. His style of play, because he plays so hard, takes on tacklers, very elusive. With a lead such as this, when they call the little option plays, they want you to hand the ball off. You know, kind of don't jeopardize somebody from Alabama A&M putting a good hit on you. You're having a good season. They want to keep him healthy. I don't think we'll see a lot of design quarterback runs today.
Well, this is what they've done on 3rd down, better than 10 yards gain on 3rd down. They've been perfect. Body, who's flush, keeping his eyes down the field, a little stutter step. And it's going to be close to the 1st down marker. Are they going to award it to him or say he's short? They're going to say he's just maybe a yard or less short. So Nick Lynn with the tackle. They're going to quickly move with tempo to try to pick it up. And the push up ahead, and I think it's going to be good enough for a first down. Let's see. Looked like he lunged forward and got enough push with the help of that offensive line.
How impressive has it been to watch Andrew Bodies this season, the maturity level? I mean, look, they're going to hurry up, and A&M's not even set. That's something that could be preventable.
That's a turnover on downs.
And they're going to mark him short of the first down. So a turnover on downs for Alabama State, and a big win here for this Alabama A&M defense. And that's one way to slow him down.
It is. Must not have gotten the favorable spot. Looked as if he needed a yard. There's the contact moving forward.
It's 1st and 10 Bulldogs.
Wyatt Wright, who came in to try to bring him back. I gotta tell you, Jay, I thought this lunge right there was good enough, but not our eyes, but the eyes of the officials. So the pass complete into the hands of Parker. And Miles Parker with the reception.
Ruling on the field if the ball was complete. Incomplete pass, second down.
They're going to say it's incomplete.
Correction, incomplete.
So again, my eyes. You can't rely on my eyes up here, right, Jay?
Going across the field. But if you're Alabama A&M, you got to stop on defense. Try and get any type of momentum you can going into the locker room at halftime. They need some points desperately. And maybe that defensive stop can get the offense going.
Remember, that's how this game started. They were able to force a fumble and scored on their opening drive. What can they do here? Is blanketing coverage there from Denzel Johnson, the linebacker. And pass incomplete. It's going to be 3rd and 10.
And I think because of the pursuit by the Alabama State defense, that Alabama A&M offensive coordinator Dennis Alexander is going with the quick passing game, realizing he can't drop back with longer pass plays because the offensive line protection is not doing a good job of keeping Handley upright. And when you do that, that allows the defensive backs to really swarm on your receivers.
Here on 3rd and 10. And before the play goes, a timeout taken by the Hornets.
Timeout of the half.
And Eddie Robinson Jr. wants to talk it over with his crew.
This will be a 30-second timeout. 30 seconds.
We'll look back to last year's Magic City Classic again. There's always some kind of intrigue or interest. First quarter, Kareem Key with a 31-yard pass to Asa Gregg for the score. And remember, Key was the 5th-string quarterback, moved from wide receiver to quarterback because of injuries. And he came back home, and what a performance he had. Tayshawn Sims with a pick 6. The final in that one, 27-19, 3 straight for the Hornets. And while the series history has historically been in favor of Alabama A&M, it's been Alabama State as of late. They've split the last 10 in this rivalry. And Handley has the ball come loose, pop loose. It's a fumble on the play, and it looks like A&M was able to recover it. Elias Cloyd coming up with it, the center. But another look here.
It's a protection. We talked about the fact that they were limited because they had to go to the quick passing game because the offensive line couldn't protect the quarterback enough so the receivers can go downfield. And that was a perfect example right there of the defensive line just dominating Alabama A&M's offensive line. And
credit Jaleel Lenore, who was so noisy against Jackson State in their last game. He had 15 tackles then, now coming up with a big play. And the punting unit on once again as Cole has been busy in this first half. Best punt he's had with a little wind there as well. And Hickson is met immediately. So good coverage on special teams. And down inside the 45-yard line. And that's where the Hornets will start.
And now, you kind of flip the opposite of it. If you're Alabama State, you had a great first half, keep it going. Keep that momentum going into the locker room. Try to increase your offensive productivity. Your Andrew Body, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. They've been able to run the football. So I would think on this drive here, you'll see a heavy dose of the running game from the Hornets.
That's what's impressed me so much about Andrew Body. Yes, we understand what his skill and athletic ability can do, but it's also how well he's been able to take care of the football. Only 1 interception coming into the season, and that's something that's been done a great deal by this Hornet offense, of just the way they have taken care of the football and limited those turnovers.
Having just 1 interception this late in the season lets you know that you're seeing things clearly and you're in sync with the offense, and this offense is in good rhythm. Number 1 offense in the SWAC, averaging 39 points a game, looking to increase those numbers.
Well, Jones responsible so far on this drive. And he picks up the first down after back-to-back plays to him, gains of 8 and 9 yards.
I think the biggest surprise is this is just such a poor defensive performance by Alabama A&M. Sam Shade, the head coach, is a defensive guy. He played safety in the National Football League. Normally you would think the one thing that they're going to have is a defense that's going to show up. And they are just, you don't feel the sense of urgency.
That was an area where they mentioned to us when we talked to him earlier this week. This coaching staff was concerned as Body takes off, stays in, hurdles the defender. And what an outstanding effort from Andrew Body.
If I'm Sam Shade, I'm calling timeout, and I'm just getting into my defense. This is an RPO, and Body's almost laughing at how easy he's able to get to the outside edge. Look, nobody within 6 yards of...
Before the snap, timeout. Alabama A&M.
Yeah.
It'll be a 30-second timeout.
And this is what you need. This is good coaching right there. That effort was so poor on that last play, like they almost quit on the play. They deserve to get chewed out a little bit. RPO, you're supposed to read, the end man on the line of scrimmage on that option, and I think Body, when he pulled it, he said, wow, there's really nobody out here? So, I mean, take a look at this. He's looking, where are you going? Number 11, where are you going? Wilbur Smallwood. That's your responsibility to keep an eye on the quarterback. There was nobody within 7 yards of a quarterback on a run play. I don't know if I've ever seen something played so poorly, particularly when you got Andrew Body in the backfield. The preseason player of the year in the conference, he's been phenomenal all season long. Player of the year candidate. You're over there speechless, Tim.
Yeah, indeed. Well, because I think this is what the coaching staff was afraid of. When we talked to defensive coordinator Chris Schelling, he said, look, we have given up too many explosive plays. As the big stop and hit there on Jamari Holtzclaw. But this has been an issue for us. Yes, we have been banged up a little bit, and we've had to make some adjustments, but that's the area where we've got to see and have improvement. I think there was a little maybe timidness that they had seen in previous games. They said, look, make plays. Don't wait, just make them. And that's the type of arriving right there and making the play. And it's a good stop there by Wyatt Wright, the team's leading tackler. This guy over the last couple of games have had 19 tackles here, coming up with a big stop to force third down.
Third down and goal from the 4.
One of the times we've seen the effort there from Alabama A&M. Now, can they finish? You've got them third and goal. You've got a negative play in the previous play. Can you keep them out of the end zone?
Well, the 2-minute timeout is
Time
here,
out,
so
2 minutes. 2 minutes.
they'll discuss it, come back, and find out what happens on 3rd and goal for Big State. We return. Legion Field, they call it the old gray lady, and obviously the party begins starting Monday. RVs hit the lot around the stadium, the tailgate, the smoke, the Conecuh sausage. That's what I got turned on to when I got here. I know you love the barbecue and everything, Jay.
Yes, the
That
sausage.
Conecuh sausage, nothing like it. The band's obviously preparing to perform at half.
Hey, rewind that back. They start tailgating when?
Monday.
On Monday.
Yeah. Like that, like that.
Like no other.
Now 3rd and goal coming out of the 2-minute timeout.
Move body. You know they're going to get body involved. Some misdirection. And then he'll pop out, try to find somebody open.
He's rolling to his right, looking very crowded over there. Got to watch out for him. Running, he's in. Andrew Body squeezes into the end zone. First touchdown with his legs today. He's responsible for 5 in total. Shout out to Kappa Alpha Psi. You see him?
You
He
know,
said he's a pretty boy. He said
he's
new
got a little
action.
shimmy, you know, and Coach Eddie Robinson from Alabama State's a big-time Q.
Yeah.
He's a big-time Q, but what did he say this year?
We rocking with the Kappas
I'm
this
rolling
year.
with the Noops this year. When your quarterback's a Noop, you better roll with him. And Andrew Body playing like that, I'm sure Coach Rob doesn't mind if he has a little shimmy action going for the celebration.
Most points scored in a half for Alabama State this season, and this has been such a dominating performance here for Alabama State.
I mean, the decision making, it's been there for Andrew Body all game, knowing when to call his own number. And Alabama A&M not able to stop him. Yeah, I like that. I like move.
He said,
now wait a minute, that should be a penalty. You can't celebrate with somebody. Celebrate's
he
supposed to be
said,
individual.
you see those shoulders?
But one of his frat brothers joined in the celebration.
Yeah, it was like 5 that crossed on the team.
You can't do
Oh,
that.
yeah.
That's supposed to be a penalty right there. I believe that's supposed to be a penalty, but hey, when everything's going your way.
You saw Marcus Harris. He was an ice cold brother of A5A. He did his little walk, and now the Kappas got to have their moment.
Yes.
You know, it's all part of this wonderful HBCU
And
culture that is.
I know you're going to make sure that the Kappas have their moment because you got a Kappa.
That's right. My husband Aaron is a Kappa. He's a Noob.
And you are
An AKA.
And I am.
You're me, find me.
I'm J-A-Y.
Or GDI, what you want to say.
J-A-Y. All about the J's.
A&M on the return. Let's see if they can get something out of this crowd. The maroon and white marching band. They're ready to take the field. The yards allowed this season for Alabama A&M. And this is the first half, Jay. This is just in the first half. I mean, you think back to the last 3 games where this A&M defense has certainly struggled. Bethune-Cookman, they gave up 500 plus. They surrendered better than 700 yards to Jackson State. And Hanley looking down the field, has a man, and it's intercepted.
My goodness.
Tayshawn Sims, who we saw in that highlight from last year with the pick 6, and this one coming up with an INT, his second of the season.
You know, so often you see the 50-50 balls, and offenses practice this, and wide receivers go up and get the ball at its highest point. Well, that was just a great job by Tayshawn Sims to come away with that interception. Watch him body this up. He'll body this up, locate the football, and decide to play basketball like an alley-oop. Comes up with the interception. A good job riding the wide receiver, using the sideline to his advantage. Alabama A&M just has it clicking on all cylinders. Sorry, Alabama State has it clicking on all cylinders. And the Bulldogs are just trying to get into the locker room for the first half.
Copendahl on the carry.
Well, Jay, here's the beauty of the Magic City Classic. You just never know who's going to head into the booth, who you're going to bump into. And along the way, we just happened to get connected with Jermaine Dupri as a huge play right here down the field. Jalen Jones into the end zone for the touchdown. The route continues.
I was going to say, with a guy like Jermaine Dupri, what would you say? The beat goes on?
Oh, my God. Jesus Christ. I don't know what this is. What's going on?
It's shellacking. I mean,
I mean, how many points are they going to score?
That's what we're wondering, too. We're trying to figure this out as well.
This is before halftime.
But you're watching Andrew Body, one of the premier quarterbacks in HBCU football and FCS football, put on a display.
Oh, my God.
And, you talk about, they call it Heisman Trophy moments. Well, the FCS level, we have the Peyton Award moment. Okay. This is like a Peyton Award moment for Andrew Body.
Oh, all right.
All right, Jermaine Dupri. All right, what brings you into town? What draws you into the Magic City Classic?
It's a Magic City Classic. Everybody's having a good time. It's a party. It's part of the culture. You need some music to go along with the football and the food and all the entertainment. I mean, celebration. So I was here DJing at the Amazon tent. And shaking hands, taking pictures, watching. I was trying to watch a game, but
I left a long time ago.
Yeah. This got a little out of hand at the beginning.
I'm gonna put you on the spot. So Def founder. So, like, what soundtrack, what songs would you play for this first half?
Oh man, it's a bunch of songs. Never Scared, maybe. Youngblood's Damn. There's a bunch of songs that can go. Damn really works well with this song, with this game. But it's I have a bunch of songs. Yeah.
Did you know that one of the bands is going to play one of your songs at halftime?
Huh?
Did you know one of the bands is going to play one of your songs at halftime?
I heard that. I was trying to figure out what song that is. What song are they going to play?
We're going to keep you surprised as well. We got to stick around and see that. Is this your first Magic City Classic?
No, I've been here before. I've definitely been here before.
Okay.
Yeah.
And where do you rank this with all the events out there in the HBCU landscape?
I mean, as far as the fun and seeing, I've been here since 10 a.m. Just seeing the people and the energy. I feel like this is at the top, as far as the fans, and you can see the younger generation and the older generation and everybody just out there having a good time.
One of the things I like in the HBCU world is we always say the HBCU football season starts in Atlanta, and if you're good enough, it'll end in Atlanta, the Celebration Bowl. And every time we go to Atlanta, we get ready for welcome to Atlanta.
That's right.
That's right.
That's right.
We
That's
come
right.
back
We're quoting one of your songs.
You have to. Yeah.
So in terms of just the Southern hospitality that you've experienced here since you touched down in Birmingham, who's been more friendly to you, State or A&M?
I couldn't really tell. It's hard to tell who's cheering for who. That's what I was trying to figure out as I was looking and watching, because everybody got on burgundy. And there's like a lot of people had on burgundy, but then I seen a lot of different colors on the jersey, so I was like trying to figure it out. But I saw, I was sitting in the booth, the black had that's the switch it up.
Yeah.
But I ain't seen too much black on the ground today.
Well, normally it's the team that's winning is going to be nicest to you.
Yeah.
So Alabama A&M, normally my job, they'll blame this on me.
Okay.
Oh, you were talking so bad about our team. I didn't tackle nobody.
Oh, yeah.
Touchdown. But that's the culture that you get there.
I seen him jumping up and down when they scored. Though. I saw him.
So what do you think about, I'm a hip-hop head, grew up on the West Coast, so, I'm that era there. When you look at music today in the music industry, what do you see? What do you like about it?
Not much, but I like a lot of the things that I'm doing now. A lot of artists that's out. The Money Longs to Ari Lennox. This is a lot of the same artists that's been out there doing what they got to do. It's just the music industry. It's up, it's down. It's it come back around.
Well, you didn't say Kendrick, man. I'm West Coast.
Okay, you Kendrick. You got to say Kendrick. You got to say Kendrick. You got to say SZA. You got to say all that. Yeah.
Jermaine Dupri, we appreciate you stopping by the booth. It brings us to the half here.
Yeah.
49-6 again. This is
crazy.
Alabama State. Yeah, so now we're going to get a chance to watch the fans.
What's the highest point scored at this game?
In the half, you just saw right
This
now.
is it, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, the maroon marching in white band for Alabama A&M and the mighty marching Hornets for Alabama State coming up after the break.
Yeah.
Back here at the half at the 84th Magic City Classic from Legion Field, the marching maroon and white on the field under the direction of Carlton J. White, ready to get going after the big presentations that you have to make in these classics, as the pride out of Huntsville, Alabama on the field, and of course part of our Disney on the Yard initiative. Drum Major Mickey and his crew will take the field as well.
We want to welcome everybody to the 84th Amazon Magic City Classic, presented by Coca-Cola. Shout out to our newest title sponsor, Amazon, everybody. But a huge shout out to Alabama A&M and Alabama State. I want to thank the Birmingham City Council for all they do. Y'all give it up for them. And I also want to thank Commissioner Sheila Tyson for representing not just the commission, but always supporting Birmingham, Alabama. Everybody enjoy this classic. We'll see you next year. Have a good time.
Everybody looking forward to the halftime performance here at Legion Field from both schools. You can watch the entirety of their performance right here, right now, as we will listen in to the sounds of Alabama A&M's marching maroon and white.
Drum Major Mickey Mouse. Drum Majors, the field is yours. Mickey Mouse do it all, but you've never seen him on the yard. Look at the precision. Look at the swag. Along with Brooklyn United. Yo! Give him a hand, everybody! Drum Major Mickey has been our guest today, accompanied by his crew, both former HBCU drum majors, representing Florida A&M University, Jonathan Boyce, and the first female drum major with Mickey, representing Delaware State University, Sasha Cheek.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the 2025-2026 Alabama A&M University Everlasting Corps, Miss Magic City Metro Alumni Chapter, Dr. Carolyn Russell Walker, escorted by Tracy Dawkins. Miss International Student Association, the lovely Jamie Che, escorted by Timmy Dio Davies Dada. Miss Freshman, the lovely Jaden Whittaker, escorted by Dawson Gordon. Miss Sophomore, the lovely Micaiah John, escorted by Jeremiah Hunt. Miss Junior, the lovely Miss Ray Bell, escorted by Keyshawn Smith. Miss Senior, the lovely Kirsten Wilson, escorted by Keon Medar Ozoigwe. And now, ladies and gentlemen, Miss Alabama A&M University, the lovely Jacoria Tigner, a senior accounting major from Roanoke, Alabama, and Mr. Alabama A&M University, Maxwell Jordan, a senior plant biotechnology major from Warner Robins, Georgia. Ladies and gentlemen, give the everlasting court your enthusiastic applause. Take it away, Evan.
Drum majors, it's your turn. Introducing the 4 elements of funk. The beat, Mr. Mark Hatton. The rhythm, Mr. Brandon Johnson Jr. The groove, Mr. Thunder Topper Little. And our head drum major, Mr. Jermichael Richard. Drum majors, do what you do and show them why you are who you are. Birmingham, it's time. Under the direction of Mr. Carlton J. White and his assistant directors, Mr. Shelby Miller and Mr. Charles Conner, head assistant band director and chief musical arranger, Mr. Mario Warren, coordinator of dance and defense, Mr. Sean Granger, coordinator of fabulous flags, Mr. Keisha Burks, manager of band operations, Mr. Gary Gilbert, percussion instructor, Mr. Gerald Williams. Ladies and gentlemen, the real show starts now. Usher, my way. You know the word from the man. By your favorite band's favorite band, the absolute best in halftime entertainment. The first historical black college and university band. And on the field now, the A&M. And now, featuring our fabulous flag, what a party is. Fabulous flags. And now, from coast to coast and border to border, these ladies are like no other. Dancing to my boo, Ghost Town DJ. These are 2025 Dancing Divas.
slow it down just a little bit. These are the hardest working ladies in the Southwestern Athletic Conference, and you know it. Buckle up, hold on tight. It's time to take a ride on the freeway of funk. Jermaine Dupri, P. Pablo, and that's just the beginning. Watching Maroon in White, let's make it happen for the people. JP said, welcome to Atlanta. We say welcome to Birmingham. Did someone say, pass it on? Do it for the people. P. Pablo. Birmingham, you know. It's not over yet. Luther Vandross, Bad Boy. Birmingham, you know we bring the party to you. On behalf of our president, Dr. Daniel K. Williams, and the Atlanta A&M University Board of Trustees, we say thank you, Birmingham, and long live thy fame. The end.
Ladies and gentlemen, we proudly present you the 2025 Miss Alabama State University and Royal Court. Miss Freshman Ariana Woods, escorted by Quentin Fenderson. 4 is Madison Downs, escorted by Chancellor Bacon. Junior is Anicia Dixon, escorted by Miles Wilson. And Miss Senior, Maya Moore, escorted by Brandon Kidd. Coordination, the 86 Miss Alabama State University, 6 Guy, escorted by Brian. Make some noise for the 2025 Miss Alabama University and Court. Coordination, I'm looking at that score at 49. Let me hear you say, yeah, 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 State. Yeah, 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 State. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Dr. Quentin Ross, President of Alabama State University, Dr. Whitney Coleman, Dean of the College of Visual and Performing Arts, and Dr. Carly Johnson, Chair of the Department of Music, Birmingham, Alabama, we proudly to you the Alabama State City Mighty Marching Hornets! Bring up on the field, Joe Major. Taking the field, ladies and gentlemen, the first BCU marching band to perform in Rose Bowl Stadium. You see them on ANES time. Magic City, together from the Alabama State University, Mighty Marching Hornets. And you already know those are not like us. Let's go, Hornet Nation. Y'all see that score? And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's by Chucky Gill. And now it's our beautiful and sensational speakers. Often imitated, but never ever duplicated. It's our famous basketball draw, the double time! Now sit back, Hornet Nation, as we play tunes by Cardi B, Beyonce, Joy, NBA Youngboy, and so much more. you ready to turn on with the winners? Make some noise! Uh-oh! Bulldogs, you already know! Here we go! Let's get doing my shape! Let's get doing my shape! Let's get doing my shape! Show them how we get down. Warrior Nation! I don't think they're ready for it. Break it down, full. Yeah! Oh! Let me hear you say, hey, honeybees! Make some noise! Ladies and gentlemen, we hope you enjoy our show. The Alabama State Marching Orders on the direction of Dr. J.P. Oliver. Assistants are Ernest Harris, Thomas Carlisle, Charles Wilson, Ashley Dudley, Matt coordinator Raquel Zachary, Honeybees and Shignet coordinator is Morgan Jackson, and I am your announcer, J.P.
City Classic, a rivalry that dates back to 1924. Some great photos from the 70s and 80s. And Jay, Alabama A&M, Alabama State, two rivals for sure, but it's been a lopsided first half, and due in large part to Andrew Body.
We started out the game, we said, you know, what did Alabama State have to do today to have success? Well, Andrew Body had to have an out-of-body type experience in this game, and he's done just that. He's lived up to the billing as being the best offensive player possibly in the country of FCS football. He's been on full display, making great decisions and being a leader. Andrew Body put it all on display in the first half, and that's why the Alabama State Hornets came out and simply dominated offensively.
The question is, what does Eddie Robinson Jr. do in this second half? Will we see much of Andrew Body? 15 of 20 today, 280 yards, 4 passing TDs, and another one on the ground. Do you decide to rest him the rest of the way since you're in control of this game?
You let him play third quarter. Third quarter, come out there. If you score 2 quick drives, then you pull him there. But you use a running game there because he does command the offense. They don't want to take a step back with him. They've got a backup quarterback who they feel good about as well. So I'm pretty sure we'll only see Body for a little bit, but it really depends on how they come out of the locker room. Get out to a quick start, then you can go ahead and start your classic celebration early. But if you come out sluggish, they're going to play the rest of the game.
Sam Shade and his Alabama A&M unit will get the ball back. Caden Dixon on the return. And if we could have been a fly on the wall listening in to Sam Shade, I'm sure he wouldn't have been pleased with just 21 total yards of offense in the first half. Literally, everything that could have gone wrong went wrong in that first half. How do you rebound and save face in the second half?
One play at a time, one play at a time, one drive at a time. Try to get some type of rhythm going offensively.
And a new quarterback in, J.D. Davis II, the redshirt freshman out of the Atlanta area. In at quarterback now, Ryan Morrow on the carry. And so switching things up, Dennis Alexander electing to go with the backup quarterback, J.D. Davis. Remember, we mentioned Quad Brown, Cornelius Brown IV,
Second down and 6.
is out for the rest of the season. So Eric Hanley through that first half, we just didn't see a lot there.
And he got beat up. So it's not an easy job for J.D. Davis to come in here because the pass protection wasn't there.
Throwing in the double coverage there, and the wide receiver, Jordan Chambers-Smith, couldn't come up with it. The incompletion brings up 3rd and 6.
They need to figure out a way to stay on the field. I mean, the scoreboard is what it is. You're down by 43 points, but stay on the field so at least your defense can rest a little bit, try to slow down Alabama State. But what a complete dominating performance. The offense has been bad. The defense has been bad. Did not expect this in the Magic City Classic from either school anytime.
Davis out to Frank Pierre. Pierre tries to shake a defender, but good wrap-it-up tackling by Trey Phillips. The conversation had been over the last few years, hey, Alabama State's got one of those outstanding defenses, one of the best in all of FCS. If they just got an offense, how dangerous could they be? And we've seen much of that this season.
4-2 on the year, and they were just 2 yards short versus Jackson State from having a dream type of season. Really good football team, clearly the best one they've had under the Eddie Robinson Jr. era. And this is a team that, they're in the trail position, trailing Jackson State. They need Jackson State to lose a couple of games in order for them to make it. But I'm thinking now, they're one of the best teams in the top 25. In FCS football. This is a really good team. You see the way they fly around the football. And with Andrew Body as a quarterback, give me a quarterback, you got a chance. And they've got a chance regardless of who they play.
We know Jackson State, who is in that top 25. Alabama State has received votes here or there. And again, the anticipation from Trey Phillips.
That's pass interference.
It was there pretty early. No call on the play. And it brings up another 3rd down. Another look here, Jay.
I mean, the ball's in the air. The defensive back's going to come and run through contact first. That's why he couldn't get his hand up. And the ball hit him in his helmet. I think he got away with one there.
It's 3rd down and 6.
J.D. Davis II. Looks to try to convert on another 3rd down. Going to get to the 44-yard line of the Bulldogs. And it's intercepted. Keon Lewis with the pick. 2nd INT of the ball game as the Hornets defense once again is flying all over the field. The former walk-on turned all-conference safety Keon Lewis snags his 2nd of the season.
Look at him get off the hash. He was in the middle of the field. He just read the eyes of the quarterback and made a beeline for the football for a fantastic play from the free safety position.
Senior out of Miami, Florida. And again, the lone returner on defense for the Hornets this season.
Great job of leaving his feet, securing the football inbounds, setting the tone for the second half for Alabama State.
Well, commanding first half performance from Alabama State. on all facets. Jabari Kuykendall on the carry. A short gain. Jay Walker, Tiffany Green back here with you just to catch our viewers up on how things happen. It was Alabama A&M forced a fumble on Alabama State's opening drive. They were able to punch it into the end zone, but outside of that, it's been all Alabama State. It's a Greg with the reception. And Greg, the sophomore out of Waldorf, Maryland. Another big target for Andrew Bayou to go to. He's spread the ball around pretty decently today. Dylan Creech has a couple of touchdown catches. Jalen Jones, Dylan DeJet, along with Greg.
This will be interesting to see, you know, the play selection. Get Body going early so you can get him out the game early. So right now, if they pick up this third down, that's a good start to the second half with your offense knowing that they're still focused on the job.
Direct snap there to Marcus Harris the second, and the Bulldogs defense all over it. Not fooled at all. Jalen Wright, the Birmingham native.
Jalen Wright
with a good heads up play.
It's 4th down.
Well, they tried a little deception and tried to get Harris going, but as you mentioned, great recognition by Jalen Wright, along with some help from big Nick Glenn, the defensive tackle. The play goes nowhere.
Harrison Tuck on the point.
Well, the punting unit on for the first time today for Alabama State. Harrison Tuck back to punt it away. And a zooming kick over the head of Jordan Chambers Smith, and it bounces into the end zone for a touchback. So Alabama A&M will try to get moving here, get something going on offense when we return. Here in Birmingham,
it's 1st and 10 Bulldogs.
Historic Legion Field has seen many Magic City Classics since 1940, SEC championships, and all kinds of big games, Iron Bowls and such. But here, J.D. Davis trying to lead this Alabama A&M offense. Donovan Payne on the reception. Second drive for J.D. Davis, coming in for Eric Hanley, who started the game.
That's a 5-yard gain.
Davis has to be careful. You know, watching him play quarterback, has a long wind-up delivery. When you have a lot of defensive linemen flying around you, you have to make sure you can secure that football even while you're in the passing game.
You see that communication in the helmet, and they can get up to 15 seconds on the play clock. So he's got the call in, 2nd and 5 on the snap. The handoff to Morrow, and Morrow, who has good space for running,
on the carry.
and he's brought down.
8-yard
Samari
gain
Hall
and a Bulldogs first down.
On the first contact, 11-yard pickup for Morrow.
And Morrow's been one of those guys that has been steady. You know, steady, faithful, can do it all, a little bit of everything. He, along with Mario Edwards, are the 1-2 punch in that backfield. They can get the running game going, that'll help them out.
On 1st and 10, one-on-one coverage going to the outside, and how about it? Frank Pierre with some electricity, great catch, and a touchdown with a run after catch.
Touchdown Bulldogs.
67 yards. J.D. Davis to Frank Pierre.
67 yards.
How about the great readjustment by Pierre as he goes to get this ball? Bottom of your screen, this is just a go route, but watch him adjust. Ball's underthrown, adjusts, keeps his balance, and turns on the Jets. The transfer from Miles has his classic moment.
And how those legends continue to grow in this Magic City Classic. We've called so many names throughout the years, Jay. So many greats have played in this one, and Frank Pierre is trying to
And it is good.
Add to the moment. And this is a great one for Frank Pierre. They say he comes to work every day. Steady Frank Pierre he is. Into the end zone, and A&M, you. Well, First Take made its way to Beeham yesterday, and they had a number of competitions. The mascots doing a 40-yard dash, the 1v1. Those 3 competitions on the field were great. And how about the honorary Grand Marshal, Pastor Mike Jr., a Birmingham native, holding it down. He had some interesting thoughts from yesterday.
First thing we're going to do is not act like I'm not sitting on the stage with Stephen A, Cam, and RC. Welcome to Birmingham! Yes! No, it means so much to me, man. Being a kid here from Birmingham, Alabama, a lot of times when you're young, they tell you if you want to make it, go to the right, go to Atlanta, go to the left, go to Nashville. But for God to bless me to do everything I'm doing right here from my city, I stand on the shoulders of giants, man. And this classic is about football, faith, family. And as you can see, it's a party, man. We're excited that y'all are here.
Yeah. A party it has been all week long, and Jay, I think Pastor Mike Jr. did a really good job. He had to insert a little bit of prayer.
Yes, that voice is smooth. But me being the analyst that I am, we should have known the game was going to turn out like this yesterday, because all those clips we saw, Alabama State was winning. They won the 40-yard dash. We saw the Alabama State wide receiver, female wide receiver, get wide open. So it was an indicator that something good was going to occur this classic weekend for Alabama State.
And obviously a lot of fun, too, in that 40-yard dash with the mascots heavily involved.
I'm not touching that.
Well, we saw the live mascot. There was the mascot Butch.
Yes.
Right? But then there's the live mascot Butch that we saw outside the stadium, and they parade him around. He garners a lot of attention, Jay.
Yeah, Butch Henry is a mainstay at Alabama A&M games, and we mentioned that because he's the only living HBCU mascot.
Yep. We had an opportunity to travel to Baton Rouge a few times this season. Of course, they used to have
I miss Lacumba.
Lacumba.
They had an actual Jaguar. Southern University used to have a Jaguar on the campus, but no more. Shout out to Carlton, Nancy. They do a great job with the Bulldog for Alabama A&M. He's popular too.
Very.
Man, I thought they were coming to take pictures of me, and they're taking pictures of the dog. So, it humbled me a little bit.
After a gain of 5, that's a
couple of catches by Nehemiah Hickson, an Alabama native out of Spanish Fort. The true freshman lines up to the top of your screen on the outside. First and 10 for Andrew Body. Has plenty of room to run, decides to take off. The juke move, and Body continuing.
Spin move, X button, spin move.
Andrew Body.
You can see why they want to keep him in the pocket.
Absolutely. I learned this really interesting fact. Like, if you were to play with him in NCAA football, they would bring all the real-time attributes. Like, if you wanted to be like Andrew Body and build your profile, you'd have to work to be able to make moves like this in the speed category or the overall category. They bring up to the minute updates in the game. So they would change it, be like, oh, is he available for the game today? And for you on the video game? Pop to the outside from Kuykendall. And Montrell Campbell brings him down after a pickup of 9.
That's a 9-yard gain.
Alabama A&M just running it back. In the first drive to start the game, they fumbled, didn't score. Then after that, you couldn't stop them. Now it looks like first drive of the second half, they couldn't score, but now it looks like Alabama A&M's not going to be able to stop them.
Under 7 minutes to go in the third quarter.
Follow the tight end, number 40.
Okay. Dylan Creechy's got a couple of touchdowns today. Body
on the keeper.
Keeps it wrapped up. Wyatt Wright with the tackle.
He had him.
Yep.
He was open. One of the few times we've seen Body probably make a poor decision, called his own number where he could have stopped and hit Creech in the flat for an easy throw, possibly a touchdown.
First down.
Instead, they get a fresh set of downs. And inside the red zone, where the Hornets are 6 of 6 today. Pass into and complete by Tyree Saunders. Saunders, his first reception of the season.
6-yard gain. It's second down and 4.
So Andrew Body, 19 of 24, approaching 300 yards. And again, one of the top touchdown getters in the nation.
And how about this, Tiff? Because that last play just made me look it up. Alabama State in this game is averaging 10.7 yards per play. So there, and it's going up.
And it continues to go up. 7 for 7 in the red zone as Jabari Kuykendall stands on
Did
his
he hit
head.
it?
Oh, man.
Did he do that?
I'm going to say a perfect 10.
He did. What is it? Are they going to start calling that the St. Brown celebration? I mean, the balance. And I mean, look at this. Gaping hole, great engagement, untouched into the end zone. Give it to him. Give it to him.
And up.
On to attempt the point after.
And Jay, 7 plays, 70 yards. Interestingly enough, that's the first scoring drive for Alabama State that took more than 3 minutes.
5:17 remaining in the third quarter.
When everything's going your way, it goes your way. What do they say? The weebles wobble when they all fall down. Hey, State.
Well, the energy is high for Big Bama State with this commanding lead here in the third quarter. And taking a look around the SWAC, here are some scores to catch you up on. Alcorn State bouncing back from last weekend's loss in Tallahassee. Bethune-Cookman continues to put up a lot of points. Raymond Woody Jr., he's doing a heck of a job. Tremaine Jackson and Prairie View A&M with another win. How about Florida A&M and Southern?
I mean, you know, nobody watching
a close game.
Nobody watching that
why
game.
are you hating? Those are two blue bloods, along with Jackson State and Grambling State in the SWAC. And you talk about nobody watching that. That's tough, Jay.
What about Bethune-Cookman? Bethune-Cookman, 31 points. They're starting to show they have some offense, which is interesting because they're a team that, you know, they still have to play Jackson State. So you can say Bethune-Cookman controls their own destiny. I mean, you know, sorry, Tiff. I just like talking about the winners.
You know what? Jay Walker.
Action on the return.
You can't tell me.
You know, sometimes I just learn to hold my tongue.
Yes.
And that's fine.
Because you know I'm right.
It's not
you
that you're so right.
don't talk about the two teams that are in last place in the SEC or in the Big Ten or in the Big 12 or the MEAC. So I'm not going to talk about teams that are in the bottom of the SWAC.
Bulldogs from their own 25.
So I'm a professional. I'm a professional. We talk about the games people want to talk about.
That.
We talk about Prairie View A&M doing a great job with.
Let's talk about another A&M who had 21 total yards in the first half. They had 94 plus this gain right here in this third quarter. So a turnaround and something positive if you're Sam Shade to see with your offense.
They scored, but then they gave up a touchdown right away. And now you've got to see what you do with the backup quarterback. And I think right now Coach Shade's just looking for fight. You know him. He's a guy, you know, getting kind of embarrassed in his hometown, in his stadium. So he wants to see who's going to fight with him.
On the carry, Isaiah, they call him Isaiah No-No, fifth-year senior out of Bradley, Illinois. Remember, we saw Maurice Edwards IV go out with an injury. That lower left leg earlier.
Third down and 1.
Morrow has gotten carries. Now Isaiah No-No getting in some action along with Caden Dixon, who's also toe to the rock for the Bulldogs. No with the carry again.
Don't know where to go. 3rd and 1. They try to run the football and stop short, loses a yard.
Rudy Jean-Louis, who was a game-time decision, been battling some ankle issues, coming in to help make that stop. And now Robert Cole,
loss, it's 4th down.
the senior out of Coral Springs, Florida, wanting to punt it away once again.
Robert Cole on the punt.
Handles the low snap. It's up. And Hickson watches it bounce inside the 20.
All right, Tiff, you're such a good partner. You set me up so sweet. You know I like talking about the winners. So let's talk about the power rank. Let's go back and revisit the power rankings there. Jackson State still number 1. Upset alert. North Carolina Central takes an L to Delaware State. See, I'm good at my job. I had Delaware State on the bubble because I knew they were doing something. That's what on the bubble's for. Like, look out for this squad. They can do something. They got the victory. Alabama State's moving up to the number 2. They're going to be the number 2 team in HBCU football. That's almost 1A, 1B, considering they lost by 2 yards. Not 2 points, 2 yards to Jackson State. Prairie View, dominant performance today. South Carolina State opening up MEAC play with impressive victory over Norfolk. So it's going to start getting interesting. But Delaware State upsets North Carolina Central.
That's huge, as the pass complete from Tayshawn Smoot, the backup quarterback, now in for
Time on the field. Official timeout.
the Hornets. An injured player down. And Tayshawn Smoot, out of Springfield, Illinois, transferred over from Jackson State, has 1 year of eligibility remaining. And they like what he can do, as you see Nick Glenn, the player down for Alabama A&M, in obvious pain.
You know, just to cap off that Delaware State, for years, like, Delaware State has always been one of the toughest road trips in HBCU. And don't look at their record, because you go to Delaware State, it's going to be windy. You know, the elements, you can kind of take it for granted, and they give teams the business, and I think that might have been it. North Carolina Central started feeling themselves. You go up there, you play a team that's got new life with Deshaun Jackson as the coach, and they took the L. That's a huge loss for North Carolina Central.
That is, and two, you know, when you think about how things are starting to shape up potentially for the postseason, you know, championship, where does the MEAC championship, you know, go to? Delaware State's in play. Howard right now tied with Morgan State. You have to still put South Carolina State there. They won it last year, so that's on the MEAC side. And then for the SWAC, I mean, many thought a couple of weeks ago we saw the SWAC championship in Jackson State and Alabama State.
Hey, but what about deep in the heart of Texas? Prairie View A&M saying we're going to have something to say about it. Off to an impressive start in conference play. They control their own destiny on the west side. But, you know, and that's a bigger discussion. You know, one of the things it's so tough to see, and that there have been talks, but, you know, is it time for the SWAC to eliminate divisions? You know, they've got the East and the West, but your 2 best teams could be Jackson State and Alabama State. But, you know, Prairie View could be in that mix too. But we've seen that so often. Like, I think that when Jackson State was dominating, when the Coach Prime era there, Florida A&M was just as good. And whoever lost that game, it was like the season was over with. They didn't get a chance to make it to the SWAC championship. So, did some talking. You know, Dr. Charles McClellan and the folks in the SWAC, they'll do the right thing. And I'm sure they're weighing those options. But, man, can you imagine what it would be like to see Alabama State playing Jackson State again?
Yeah.
With everything on the line for a trip to the Cricket Celebration Bowl there? That would be phenomenal.
In the medical card coming onto the field for the injured Alabama A&M player. Another look here. And the middle of the field, pay attention there. And that's big Nick Glenn. Nick Glenn, the fifth-year senior out of Deerfield Beach, Florida, one of the captains for this team, who's played in a number of Magic City Classics, is currently still being attended to. As he gets the appropriate attention, we will step aside here with 3 minutes remaining in the third. Well, we hope that young man is okay. Nick Glenn, the senior interior lineman for Alabama A&M, who made a trio of tackles today, and he's getting carted off the field after about a 5 or 10 minute delay. And so the second injured player today we've seen for Alabama A&M, and this is what has been so tough, is that, you know, players have been limited because they have been banged up, especially on the defensive side of the ball. That's what we heard earlier this week from defensive coordinator Chris Schelling.
Good to see Nick Glenn give a little thumbs up, like he'll be all right. And tough part of the game.
Back in action. And the Hornets on the carry pick up the first down after that gain of 6.
That's for the carry. First down.
And pass broken up. Good play there by Montrell Campbell.
Smooth pass goes incomplete.
It's incomplete, and 2nd and 10 on the way. But Jay, I think that's a really interesting discussion about kind of what the SWAC will do moving forward regarding the East-West divisions, whether schools want to move to just the top 2 teams in that model, and some of the scenarios that it will bring up. As another carry, first time we're seeing Ashford on this drive and in this game.
Ashford carry.
Continuing to keep it going, but
that's a
I think many people want to see just the 2 best teams.
I mean, that's what it comes down to, especially when you talk about, you know, competing for a championship, a national championship. You want to see your best 2 teams represent your conference in the national championship game, which is a Cricket Celebration Bowl. And I just can't say it's been that way. In the past couple of years, I mean, I think that FAMU and Jackson State have been the cream of the crop, and the West has not been what it should be. They've not been competitive. We've gone to SWAC championships and really thinking the West didn't have a chance at winning, and they weren't able to win one.
The pass complete, and Keon Hanley Jr. slamming the receiver Hickson down. So 4th down upcoming.
On the tackle.
And the offense will trot off the field for the Hornets. And Harrison Tuck back to punt it away.
And it was a good job by Eddie Robinson Jr. too. On that drive, he pulled out all of his starters, said, they're not going to score on us. We're not going to lose this game. So give the backups an opportunity to play. You know, show some respect to the opposing sideline, realizing its competitive nature. But E-Rob, as they call him, on his way to 4-0 in Magic City Classics.
Tremendous respect between these 2 head coaches.
Timeout. Alabama State. First charge, timeout of the half.
As Alabama State spins the timeout.
Coach Rob, he enjoyed the experience of the first take. They showed the first take segment there and everything that goes along with it. And he actually said something that kind of had me laughing. He said, can you imagine what it would have been like if Connell Maynard was still the coach at Alabama A&M? So I was like, wow, but Shade was there, the hometown guy.
They were in the NFL at the same time.
The future of Alabama is on the line.
Come back and E-Rob, his alma mater for Sam Shade, hour a half from his hometown down in Huntsville now with A&M. Harrison Tuck on the punt. Fair catch.
Fair catch.
But again, when E-Rob went to the press conference earlier this week and saying, okay, you know, what to expect from the Magic City Classic, he said, well, Sam Shade knows a thing or two about this Magic City Classic because it runs in his family, right? So Sam Shade, coach of Alabama A&M on the right, his mother graduated from Alabama State. So when we talk about households divided in a number of different ways, you know, Coach Shade knows a thing or two about Hornet Nation.
Yeah, but I always go back to every time I've seen a coach make their first appearance in the Classic. We ask the coaches, hey, do you know what to prepare for? Oh, I've coached in big games before. I've seen this and I've seen that. I know. I've coached in the Florida Classic. I've coached in the Bayou. And then the next year, when you ask them that same question, what was the Classic like? It was bigger than I thought. It was bigger than I thought. And that might have been the case for Sam Shade. I mean, you've seen it from a spectator, but when you're the coach in this game, there's so much ride on it. They pull you in so many different directions that I think he may realize this Classic game a little bit bigger than you thought. It's not Auburn, Alabama, but you're not playing. You're coaching. You got to manage so much.
Colton Nero on the carry. That brings us to the close of the third quarter.
That is the end of the third quarter.
And we are closing in on the final chapter of this 84th Magic City Classic. You gotta love it. You see the youngins coming up, enjoying the parade from earlier today. And of course the party will unfold after this game is complete. Welcome back to Birmingham, and the native son here, Sam Shade, with the Alabama A&M Bulldogs. And Coach Shade, how do you take in all of what has transpired thus far in this Magic City Classic?
Well, it's the first. It was the worst first half of football I've ever been a part of by us. We can't cry about that. All we can do is control what happens this second half, and that was my message to the team at halftime. Forget about that first half, and let's just come back, treat it like it's 0-0, and finish this game out strong.
Coach Shade, when you take a look at everything in the week and everything that's been like, you almost just want to ask, like, what happened? What happened to Alabama A&M today?
Well, you know, it's all on me. I'm the head coach. It's all on me. I didn't have our team prepared in that first half. And, you know, we've got to fix those things. Got to fix it.
And secondary question, defensively, y'all have seemed to really struggle at stopping their offense. Why is that?
Well, you got to give them credit to, you know, they've done a good job offensively, you know, kind of kept us off balance, really threw some things at us that, you know, we weren't quite prepared for, and that's really the story of it.
All right, thanks, Coach. We appreciate the time.
Hang in there, Shade.
All right, thank you. All right.
Well, if there's something that they can build off of, it's the second half and the way they've been able to come out and at least
Nero on the carry.
Run the football, pass the football, pick up some yards. 21 total yards in that first half, and 119 so far in this second half. So things have gotten a little better as they've had to make some adjustment. Again, J.D. Davis the second. The backup quarterback on the field. So 3 wide receivers to the bottom of your screen. See the blitz coming from Alabama State. Corey Lucius brings down the quarterback for the sack.
That's been the story. They've not been able to protect the quarterback in normal passing situations, and then Alabama State decides to blitz the quarterback. When you've got a young quarterback in there, the blitz sees a lot of bodies, nowhere to run to.
4 sacks in this ball game, 6 tackles for loss for this Hornets defense, a couple of interceptions as well. And we saw even in that week 1 matchup against UAB, the number of bodies that had to be rotated in, and a lot of guys who are just getting experience on that defense for Alabama State. They're mixing in a lot of promising players for the future as Hickson is swung around and down. And no return on that play. Alabama State is waiting for the countdown so they can control their 4th Magic City Classic in a row. State taking a look at last year's James Frank Commissioner's Cup within the conference. Alabama State winning for a 3rd consecutive year. Alabama A&M was in the mix 7th as well, but this is something that is a point of pride for Dr. Jason Cable in this athletics department for Alabama State, continuing to lead the conference and the way in these Commissioner Cup standings.
Jackson State may gain a little ground because if things stand, they get more points than Alabama State for the football portion of it. But let's not forget Alabama State's coming in 2nd football, possibly 2nd, 3rd. So maybe not enough to overcome it. But I like that, you know, in all sports, because all sports count. All sports count. SWAC, one of those conferences that their baseball's really a lot. Golf. Every time we go down to Jackson State, we see Eddie Payton always talking about golf in the SWAC.
But I think Alabama State has a very strong golf program. I think Florida A&M won it last year. Even, you know, I'm going to talk about what I love.
You already did. You said
bowling.
Florida A&M.
No, I was going to say bowling. But thanks. Good try there, Jay. Good try. Bowling. 2nd and 11. Smoot hit as he throws, and the pass incomplete, intended for Kareem Key. Key, who we mentioned earlier in this broadcast. He's a dual threat because he can line up at wide receiver, but also he came in as the backup quarterback last year, 5th string, as they were depleted. So Kareem Key is a Birmingham area guy who does a lot for this team.
So because I'm curious, who won the SWAC bowling championship last year?
Was it Alabama State?
Was it? I mean, okay. I didn't know if you were hinting to me that it was Florida A&M or not.
No.
Okay.
I'm not all things Florida A&M.
No, that's not true.
Fair. I am fair.
Ashford on the carry.
Now, this is the part there where you see them get a little chippy. As well as this game, you know, it's like the backups are in there now. Don't you all start something. We didn't see any fights between the starting units.
And I want to give Prairie View A&M bowling team their love for winning. Yep, for winning the SWAC championship earlier this year, defeating Southern. So, boom, just got that out there.
Yep. You know what? We didn't get a chance to comment on the halftime show, so I think we'll get some.
Oh yeah, we gotta look back at that because there was lots going on. We talked to Jermaine Dupree before the halftime show. Jay, I need to get your thoughts on how it all shook out, and this is in the throwback category. Okay, look at those majorettes looking good. Magic City Classic, always a treat, no matter what, between Alabama A&M and Alabama. Jay, we saw 2 outstanding performances at the half with the marching maroon and white from Alabama A&M. Of course, the mighty Marching Hornets from Alabama State. A&M's in the top 10 band rankings for the month of October.
I think they should be. I mean, it was a quality performance. You know, I was watching them, hadn't seen them in about a year, and said, wow, they were really, really good. You know, you got to put the asterisk because Jackson State, along with Bethune-Cookman, have declared themselves ineligible to go to the Band of the Year. So
electing not to participate.
yes, instead of ineligibly like that. How'd you say electing not to participate? So it'll be interesting, but I'm telling you, I really like what I saw from Alabama A&M.
Yeah,
quality performance there.
They play where the party at. Welcome to Atlanta. Of course, we just talked about So-So Def founder Jermaine Dupri, who was up here with us. So an ode to him, a little shout out to him.
Quality band. It'll be interesting to see which bands will join us in Atlanta to be crowned the Band of the Year. That's one good thing still got going on Florida A&M. Reigning Band of the Year.
The pressure coming, and able to bring him down, Kendarius Frazier, and a flag out as well.
And I'm not so sure they're calling that a fumble or not.
Recovered by the offense.
Outside, defense, number 95. 5-yard penalty, remain, second down.
So if I had to ask you, we'll look at the Band of the Year rankings again after this. Other than Florida A&M, what are a couple bands that you like?
You know, I've always talked about Sonic Boom in the South. I thought they did a really good job during homecoming. Human Jukebox also
Southern University
is one of those premier bands for me.
Love it with a breakout.
I haven't seen Prairie View A&M in a while. The Marching Storm. I would really like to hear them again because I remember going there some Thursday night games. And I tended to enjoy them. I thought Alabama A&M did a really nice job marching maroon and white.
You just can't help yourself. This is what I got to do.
You
can't help yourself. I pulled a top 10 up there.
I like.
Yes.
Is that it?
Yes.
Bands, plural,
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
Like, subjective.
I know.
Correct? Okay.
But here's what I'm talking about.
They're giving chase, and J.D. Davis able to avoid the pressure.
This is the part I'm talking about.
What?
I had them pull up the Band of the Year rankings, and they showed all the bands. And you talked about a lot of bands, but you would not say anything about Bethune-Cookman's band. You would not say anything about Bethune-Cookman's band. It's just, you just can't do it. That's what I'm saying. You mentioned all these bands ranked 8, 9. I like them. I haven't seen Prairie View. No, you didn't say anything about that band that was ranked in the top 5. Right there, because
that's fine.
You just can't do it.
That's fine. No. Because I've given credit to Bethune before. Let me tell you why I've given credit to Bethune before. Because their Wildcat chant. I don't know what the proper name of it is.
Let's go Wildcats.
Let's go Wildcats.
Let's go Wildcats.
Let's go Wildcats. It's one of my favorites.
It's the best band chant in the country.
It's absolutely one of my favorites.
It's the best band song in the country.
It's one of my favorites, and I hear it, and it gets stuck in your head, and you absolutely appreciate it. I do. I get it. We are rivals and all that kind of stuff, but I can admit that. Name one nice thing about Hampton. I'm sorry. No. They're a university.
Institute by the Bay. The Institute by the Bay.
You're giving me a fact because that one is picked up, but they're going to say it's whistled dead. It was down before. Jay, another injured Alabama A&M player on the field near the Bulldog sideline.
Timeout on the field for an injured player. Officials timeout.
And it's been a challenging season, as we've mentioned, for this Bulldogs defense.
Oh.
The helmet right on that knee.
Oh.
That's Jarvis Davis, the wide receiver, the true freshman. He's sitting upright. That's a good sign. He's grabbing that right lower leg around the knee area. And unable to put any pressure on that right leg, and then having to be carried off. So He is being taken into the medical tent.
Alabama Power is a proud supporter of the state's 13 HBCUs.
And again,
this partnership helps to enhance educational opportunities and foster growth.
It's part of the game, but something that's very difficult as a part of it. So Jarvis Davis and Maurice Edwards the fourth.
Third down and 16.
2 players injured on offense, and then Nick Glenn, the defensive lineman, had to be carted off earlier. Now 3rd and 16, the line of the game, the 45-yard line of Alabama State. J.D. Davis, and nearly picked off in and out of the hands of Zamari Hall.
You need to start running the football. If you're Alabama A&M, you know, your body count's getting up there in terms of guys that have left the game. The clock is stopping right now. Alabama State has done the right thing. They put in nothing but backups. So realize, you know, take the L and try to get out here as healthy as you can, but stopping the clock, continue to throw the football, that's not what you should be doing in this situation, in my opinion.
The 9th punt of the ball game for A&M. Low snap, high towering kick. And Alabama State will get the ball back when we return, as a look back at the halftime performance from the bands who showed out here at this 84th Magic City Classic. Well, toting the rock is exactly what Alabama State has done so well this season, and that theme carries on here from this game. 274 yards picked up on the ground. Jamari Holtzclaw, who did his thing. Yeah, okay, Marcus Harris is like, bring me into this as well. 8.6 yards per carry on the ground in this one. And then Jabari Kirkendall was just like, okay, I want to get into the action as well. His second 100-yard rushing game of the season. Had 106 a few weeks back against Bethune-Cookman, and then Andrew Body hurdling. I mean, there isn't anything that Andrew Body can't do or hasn't done today. Responsible for 6 touchdowns in this game. Body with 66 yards on the ground.
You know, and haven't done enough, so I want to take this moment to actually give a shout out to those guys up front, because when the passing game's working and the running game's working, Desmond Daniels, Desmond Penn, Jeremiah Frazier, Cameron Smith, Elijah Baker dominated. Great pass protection, great run blocking. The guys up front, you're seeing the backups in there now, but give a shout out to the big boys for Alabama State, controlling the line of scrimmage.
And when we had a chance to talk with Eddie Robinson Jr. at the end of that first half, said, well, what worked so well for your offense? I mean, he gave credit to that offensive line and the way that they stood tall. This game is often filled with physicality, and of course it's an extra layer when you're going against your rival. They really held the fort, held it down.
Barnes on the stop.
And then both coordinators, Billy Gresham, Chris Barnett, some rising guys in the coaching industry. You'll start to hear their names mentioned for a couple head coaching positions in the future, I'm sure.
Gresham, who was a part of, you know, kind of the NFL minority coaches, kind of identifying some of that young talent that you're talking about. Chris Barnett was a part of those championship teams at North Carolina A&T.
Smooth pass completes to Ashton Ashford.
Jalen Wright brings down Ashford. So Chris Barnett at the top there with the headset on that second row.
1 yard gain, it's 4th down.
Good look at him and his offensive mind and philosophy. And one of the things he said to us this week is, look, you know, for our offensive unit to be effective the remainder of the way, we have to chase perfection. You know, we came up short against Jackson State, but we ask our guys each day in practice and each game to chase perfection.
That was a tough margin punch.
That winning formula has played out today, winning with fundamentals, effort, and technique. They're caught by Jordan Chambers-Smith. And so looking at Alabama State's schedule the rest of the way,
that's going to be a good one.
You've got Prairie View. I mean, that's the one you circle. That game will determine a lot. And you can't look too much further because Texas Southern, you can't trip up against the Tigers as well. So that's a very tough 2 weeks against the Texas squads. Then a very hard-fought game we see week in and week out from Mississippi Valley State, followed by Arkansas Pine Bluff closing out with Tuskegee for the Turkey Day Classic.
I would say they'd be favored in most of those games. You may call the Prairie View A&M game a 50-50 type game. If they are able to win out, that's an impressive 9-2 record, with one loss coming to an FBS school and the other one coming to a top 15 team in the country. That's why it's like, would you like to see them get an opportunity in postseason play? You almost think 9-2 is too good a season to just go home.
Now, Jay, their eligibility for the playoffs potentially, what would have to take place in order for them to do that? I mean, could they very well make the FCS playoffs? Do you think their body of work says they could make the FCS playoffs if they went out?
That's a close one. They're getting there. I think the SWAC overall as a conference is starting to, with Jackson State being the bell cow, and Jackson State won non-conference games. So when you start looking at FCS selection, they want to see not only how you did in your conference play, but how did you go beat somebody non-conference. That's pretty good. So I think they're getting there. Prairie View A&M had the non-conference victory over a team that was all right. So the SWAC is starting to get there. We're starting to see them play more non-conference games and win those games. So as a conference, that'll help.
Second and 10, 4:33 remaining in this one. Once again, it's Colton Nero on the carry. Conversely, Jay, when you look at Alabama A&M, I mean, the Bulldogs have 4 games remaining.
Outside of the Prairie View game, I'm going to say winnable games. They'll probably be favored in those games. This hurts right here. This loss here. This is going to sting when they go to 4-4. But in his first year, if he can finish 8-4, 7-5, I think they'll take that for now. But I think at Alabama A&M, traditionally 7-5 has not been enough for the folks down there. 7-5 win a classic, okay. But 7-5 lose a classic, so year one, you know, he'll get a pass. But if they have an opportunity to go 8-4, that would be a tremendous season for first-year head coach Sam Shade and the staff.
A lot has to happen between now and then, and you've got to be able to be healthy to get some of those guys back. That one was deflected, or at least in the face of, and shanked there from Robert Cole. I think it may have been just a piece of that one here, Jay. It altered.
Yeah.
The fingertips.
He lays out, so we can go ahead and get that block.
Elijah Bean who made the play there.
And surprising, all game Alabama A&M has been punting. It seems like it's been dangerous when they punt.
Yes.
Make the adjustment. You know, they're not pressuring up the middle. They're putting speed guys on the edge, and they're letting them go unblocked. And they're fortunate they haven't had a number of kicks blocked.
First and 10 points. They're on 42.
Hand it off to, again, the speedy Ashton Ashford. Sophomore from right here in Birmingham. And again, you look up and down these rosters, a number of players from the state of Alabama. 56 on Alabama A&M's roster. A great collection for Alabama State as well. Again, just keeping the ball on the ground, trying to let as much time tick off the clock as possible.
5-yard gain.
And
it's 3rd down and 1.
You know, Alabama State fans are certainly going to be ready to celebrate after this one.
I cannot remember such a lopsided classic. And we'll see where each team takes their season from here. The classic's always a classic, but this will go down as one of the more memorable ones because of the dominating fashion.
Ashford on the kick. And that's a 1st down, Hornets.
A series between these two that date back to 1924. It's been all Alabama State in this one.
Timeout on the field.
The 2-minute timeout is here. We will take a break in what has been a beautiful day turn night here in the city of Birmingham, Alabama. Numbers don't lie, Jay Walker, and those numbers tell the story of tonight's game.
Wow. 600 yards, they average 9 yards per play, and you saw it early. Alabama A&M, to say their defense struggled, and struggles is an understatement.
Meanwhile, Eddie Robinson Jr., Andrew Body standing next to him, and
you see that logo for Andrew Body?
Yeah,
he created that.
Yeah, he did, and it's quite impressive. He has his own shoes too. We talked to him yesterday during walkthroughs here. He came up with the logo, and he had some shoes on about the color for as bright as
custom-made shoes.
Yeah.
That's what I said.
The AB1 logo, and I'm thinking, okay, well, he got some AJ Browns on or something like that.
You asked if he had shoe covers on, Jay.
Yeah, I thought they were shoe covers. He said, no, these are his custom kicks, and he's a design guy and playing great football.
And again,
there he is. What's he
Body
doing?
Body having a great time. You got to get low down. And you know, you can only do so much with the shoulders in the pads, right? You know, little Kappa stroll.
Look, you see the cues right there, like, hey, hold on now. You know, as they say, this year Alabama State, they're rolling with the Noops.
And right now, things feeling good for the folks in the Gump and inside here. Injured player coming off the field for Alabama State. That's backup center Michael Moore Jr.
Due to the injury, we have a 10-second runoff. Please reset the game clock for 1 minute and 31 seconds. 1 minute and 31 seconds. Clock will start on my whistle.
Jay, we had to go back and look because there was a question mark regarding just how lopsided of a game this was. Since we've been calling it, this is the most lopsided we've seen. You go back to 91, your playing days, right?
No, but I'm sure Alabama State won that game.
Right, Alabama State.
They were the national champs.
They were the national champs. E-Rob was a part of that team. 59-13 in favor of Alabama State. So they won it back then with that large of a margin and putting up the most points we've seen in the Magic City Classic.
Well, they could have gotten 59.
They could have.
They could have gotten 59. Maybe. Eddie Rob, he's smart enough to know that. Maybe that's why he put the backups in when he did. Because I thought Body could have gone one more series in there, but he pulled him to keep that record up there for his 91 boys.
Winning a national championship that year with head coach Houston Markham, and shot at a SWAC championship and possibly HBCU national championship still in their sights. Again, they'll have to get some help, but will need to win out. Remember, just 2 yards away, as you stated, Jay, from being 3-0 in conference play.
Controlling their own destiny. And on this final play, I'd like to let everybody know all is right in the world again. Howard University is one homecoming.
That was so unnecessary. And nobody asked for that, nor did they care.
Everybody
Jay
cares
Walker.
about the West homecoming.
No.
America's best
Jay.
homecoming.
No, now that right there, as you would say, now that's just selfish. That's just selfish there.
I'm an analyst. I call like I see it. It is what it is.
This is a great moment for Alabama State as Eddie Robinson Jr. moves to 4-0 in the Magic City Classic. When he comes to Birmingham, he does not lose in these classics. And a big victory for Hornet Nation and a dominating performance indeed as Alabama State tramples over Alabama A&M in this huge in-state rivalry. And the Hornets continuing to sting their way through the SWAC. Fourth straight win for Alabama State, 616 total yards of offense. You want to say a balanced attack, Jay? 313 through the air, 303 on the ground.
And they got that defense going, too. That really impressed me. Body's going to be body. This offense comes in, and they average 39 points a game. But defensively, the relentless pursuit that we saw on all facets of defense, whether it was pass rush, whether it was tackling, pretty complete performance by the Alabama State defense, playing their best football game of the season thus far and recovering after a heartbreaking loss 2 weeks ago.
So another look here at the SWAC standings. Alabama State 3-1 in the conference, tied for second place with Bethune-Cookman. Jackson State in action right now against Grambling. They've got to try to win that one out on the West Coast. Meanwhile, Prairie View A&M moves to 4-0 in conference play in the West. So, Jay, I mean, we've said it throughout the entire game just how dominating and impressive this win was for Alabama State. Where does it lead the Hornets for the remainder of the way, and what does Sam Shade do with A&M?
A&M, you got to just take it. You played a very good football team, didn't go out well, but he's still looking to see what type of players he's going to have to recruit to get his personality on this football team there. Alabama State, I mean, they're good. They're really good. I mean, it makes it tough because you're like, yes, they're the second best team in the SWAC thus far, but, man, that last play is going to haunt folks for years when they think about Alabama State football coming 2 yards short against Jackson State, and had no knock on Jackson State. Jackson State's the cream of the crop, and they've been all season long.
And Eddie Robinson Jr. can breathe a sigh of relief once again as he owns this Magic City Classic. 56-13, the final, and this one from Legion Field. An exciting game it was, especially if you were a Hornet fan. For Jay Walker, I'm Tiffany Green. This has been another outstanding Magic City Classic in favor of the Hornets. We're saying, we out from Birmingham.